Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rift's Gunmetal Soul, a Savage Worlds Rifts game in which our group is adventuring to the ruins of Philadelphia to find Ben Franklin's key. So, let's start by introducing our characters, and then I'll give a last week recap, and then we'll get rolling. So, let's start with Sasir.
Hi everybody. I'm Dara. I'll be playing Sasir this evening. Who is our little raccoon lady hybrid. She's a little bit Sly Cooper, a little bit Rocket Raccoon, a little bit Tom Nook. Maybe we're going for a raccoon trifecta here.
Are you going to be selling people's houses to them?
The third one is the scariest of the trio, I gotta say. I feel like I could reason with either of the other two.
So I'm 3 raccoons in a trench coat. That's what we're doing.
See, but this is Rifts. That's a different character.
Ah, damn.
All right. Up next is Adelaide.
Hey folks, Fox. I'll be playing Lady Adelaide Mercy. There's a word for Cyber Knight. That's what she is. She's a Cyber Knight. She's going to be trying to keep her friends from putting people's heads too firmly through tables. I'm a human.
Hooray!
Hooray!
All right, Rainier. All right. So, previously, you encountered the techno wizard Kari Neville, who is a lady with feathers for hair. I don't think I picked a color for the feathers, so I'm going with a, I don't know, reddish brown or like a very brownish brown.
Okay.
And
Love a brownish brown.
Yeah, apparently we're not getting Riley's audio.
Uh-oh.
I fixed it. OBS respec to a different mic for no fucking reason. So it's good now. I fixed it.
That's
it's the
OBS.
easy thing. Yes. I will just reiterate,
Yeah.
Rainier is a Fey Psy Warrior problem.
Perfect.
Hi, warrior. Just very exasperated. These
That
are the
joke-
jokes I have. I don't know what you want from me. Benny. I told a joke. Give me a Benny.
No.
Damn it.
Not for that one. It has to be recognizable and funny. All right.
That's a tall fucking order.
I know. So I'm a cruel GM. All right. So the group had met the Kari Neville, the techno wizard bird lady, but not like the Kids in the Hall bird lady. Less birdish than that.
Thank God.
I just suddenly remembered that existed. I had not thought about that until this moment. I hate that bird lady. That's part of the
I
skit.
love her
But anyway.
so much. But yes.
And Kari has heard a lot about Ben Franklin and an electric key and wants to go to Philadelphia to attempt to discover it. Much in the way Ben Franklin discovered lightning. It was basically just by like, hey, that thing everyone knew about. Yeah. All right. But along the way, they were on a train, a magical train that runs along the magical ley lines that inhabit the planet ever since magic exploded the world a couple hundred years ago. And the train, unbeknownst to some of them, is basically a giant techno-wizard device that has a couple of chained demons for an engine.
Don't like that.
Well, don't break the
Don't
engine.
like that. I will endeavor to do that.
But as they finished up talking about themselves, they discovered a couple of people, a juicer who is a person who has a harness that injects them with drugs to put them at peak human tolerances for everything and makes them super fast, super strong, but they die in like 5 years. Was arguing with a psychic mind melter, someone who's just really good at psionics, about what the mind melter owed the juicer, and as the juicer is wont to get violent, the team intervened and calmed the situation by wrecking the juicer and the mind melter both.
They stopped fighting.
They didn't fight, yeah.
They did stop
Can't argue.
fighting after Rainier put the mind melter into the floor and then the juicer on his back. As we stand over the wreckage, the barkeep stands up and goes, "All right, that's enough." No, not the barkeep, the bar bodyguard, the bar bouncer. All right, that's enough. It's a big grackletooth guy. Grackletooths are giant 8-foot tall lizard men with like dinosaur-looking heads. Picks up the juicer one-handed. The juicer easily weighs like 400, 500 pounds because of the harness and all the gear. And does actually have a railgun strapped to his back, and picks up the mind melter who weighs easily 200 pounds. And walks over through the swinging saloon doors on this train and throws them out the train through the swinging saloon doors.
He like off the train completely?
Yes, he just throws the juicer first.
Oh my god.
And then throws the other guy out.
Oh, I don't know if that. I guess that was necessary. Wow.
They'll land.
Okay. That's kind of what I'm afraid of. Survey.
They'll probably survive. Don't start fights on my train.
Are there windows?
There are, but the train is moving at a decent clip. Yeah. Are you trying to see what happened to them?
Yeah, Cecile would have ran like right to the window, like almost smash her face against it, just like.
Give me a notice check.
Woo!
It is that like normally I wouldn't call for a notice check on seeing people thrown out of a train. So, a psychic and a roided up soldier were arguing, and it was about to get violent, and then Rainier put them down, and then the bouncer is exiting them from the train. You do see the psionic. He flies out the window a little slower than the other one. And it looks like his speed instantly drops as soon as he's out of the train's like aura, and he just kind of hits the ground and rolls a little. The juicer got thrown a bit further, but it's because juicers can take that kind of damage.
Okay.
And he was trying to give the mind melter a bit of a head start. Because when the juicer wakes up, he's probably going to go looking for that mind melter again. Yes.
Oh man.
All right.
Are we still in the vicinity of Dinosaur Swamp by any?
No, we are not
chance?
near
I remember-
Dinosaur Swamp. We're going through the magic zone.
I didn't even think
And
about
there's
that.
plenty of
Okay,
dangerous
okay.
things around the magic zone.
No, sure.
But
they're gonna have themselves a day.
Yeah, don't start fights on the train. People tell stories about this because they don't want you to start fights on their damn train. And the bouncer goes, "Am I going to have any trouble from the three of you?"
No?
Absolutely no. Like I put my hands up, the psi shield I had earlier, like instantly, just as soon as people are grabbed and thrown at the trail, it's just like, nope, that's fucking gone. My hands are up.
Oh yeah, there's a moment where Cecile still has like her staff out, and she just starts whistling, and like hits a button so they retract again. Like it retracts down to the little metal tube, and she just puts it right back into like where she keeps it in her little holster on her side. It's like, no, never, nope.
Just the fist weapons just disintegrate into ice cubes. And like clatter to the floor and then disappear. No problem at all.
A little bit.
Wait, do the ice cubes disappear, or do they disappear in that they hit the floor and then just melt away?
Or do they sublimate?
Really exist off of me.
All right.
I guess that's
So
fair.
They look like ice cubes until they hit the ground, in which case they kind of fall through it a little further than they should, and then kind of turn ethereal and go away.
That's kind of cool.
The Cracktooth goes, "All right, and you six," and looks at the soldiers that were with the juicer, and then we'll go, "No, sir." Did you have a look? Did you have a tracking beacon on either of those guys? And one of them goes, "No, sir." Well, learn. I charge you for the table, but as a thanks for helping handle that before it got worse and anyone who wasn't involved got in trouble. You can. I'll write off the table and drinks around me. Just one each.
That is
You don't have to share it.
Tremendously kind of you. Thank you. I think I've had enough for time being. I'll enjoy my sobriety, but your kindness in this regard is noted and deeply appreciated.
That's a lot of words for thanks, but you're welcome.
Cecile just comes up and says, "Merci, thank you. Sorry about the mess at the table." And she just looks at Rainier and goes, Did you smash that person's face through the table?"
Oh, I meant to pin him to the table, but I guess I overestimated a little bit.
Carrie goes, "Ooh, do you want to see? I did record it.
You recorded it.
You want to watch playback?"
What did you record it on? How did you weren't getting involved?
No. Why would I get involved in that?
But you were being, a bystander then.
Yes.
Excellent, let me see.
It's far safer. She pulls a, she's wearing a brown kind of like suit jacket. I think I said she's got a white button down with suspenders. And she pulls out like what looked to be like a little pin, but the pin kind of tracks out with a little fiber optic cable, and she just kind of kinks it so it stays up, and then it projects onto the table. A video feed of the fight, which took all of 15 seconds. Maybe 30 at most. And goes, "Oh yes, that's where the table was hit first, and that's where it gave way."
Ooh, just like reactions like you're in a movie theater, like for a Marvel movie, like at midnight, first night, like that
Yeah.
kind of level of reactions. Just like, ooh, yeah, that had the heart.
Well, I'm glad. I now am more proud of investing in the three of you.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm glad our islands meets with your approval.
Oh, quite. Yes.
Ideally, and I like can't glance to both my companions. Ideally, maybe we could avoid that in future. Obviously, the two particular gentlemen were apt.
Oh yes, I don't believe the one gentleman was going to avoid violence. I think he was going to start violence, and the other one was going to use psychic violence against him. So you made it a lot shorter than it would have been otherwise, yes?
Yeah, terrifyingly so. As I look over at Rainier, it's just kind of like a raised eyebrow of like, "Damn, dude."
Well,
Wanted to finish it, didn't you?
I did. No, that's fair. I really fault you on that one. I just, a little impressed. You were very thorough.
They took less effort than I would have expected. Gonna
the
go get that
key with
drink.
psychics. The key with psychics is to get them quickly.
Yeah, it's
But some of them have
less
the ability
effort.
to see it coming.
That you were anticipating more effort. That terrifies me. So,
all right. Rainier goes to get drinks. Adelaide, I believe, is going to retire to the cabin for now.
so fucking lootly.
Yeah.
I'm getting away from these people. I'm just as I like leave the train car. There's a beat where I like stop and turn and just look at the swinging saloon doors, and it's just like, when? Oh,
They're mostly
forget it.
for show.
Yeah,
and it's
just
magic,
like,
so they are actually sealed until something goes through them.
Oh, very good. Okay. It's like, how the fuck did I miss that on the way in? Never mind. I'm gonna lie down. I get out of this armor and lie down.
All right. You unstrap the top layer of your cybernetic armor and have a lie down. There is, if this were a movie, there'd be a scene of showing just how deep the armor is attached to you. That it is
Yeah, it's
literally built onto you.
Yeah, I think like there'd be like there's a brief kind of almost reveal sort of moment of as I'm like hitting things to release the breastplate, which kind of like does that hiss slide thing of detaching from something, and I'm lifting it off, and then you see underneath that there's another layer of armor that looks like it's part of my flesh. That's like metal plates fused into my skin. That are there for a second, and then after I set the chest piece down, and then all of that I don't know how best to describe it. So it's almost like a digital dissolve. Then that underlayer armor also disappears and gives way to regular flesh. Like that, it's that same sort of like bluish white glow washes over it.
Oh,
Cybernet's a rat.
That's
That was
awesome.
that's really neat.
Love that.
And that's why we do that scene. All right. The train rumbles along, and it's another 2 hours before you get there. So you get there, unless anyone has anything, but I think we're good. You get off at Stormspire. Stormspire is a massive
Ooh.
tower. I should have pulled up a picture of it and been ready so that I could reference the picture in my head, but I was not. It is a massive techno wizard tower that kind of floats. Here you see what looks like a switching station for trains. Um, it's not connected to the base of the tower. The tower is about a mile off, but still connected to a ley line. You're at a nexus point here, which is where multiple ley lines intersect. A nexus point is often unstable and is where things like demons come tearing through into this world unless there is a force stabilizing them. Stormspire, being techno wizards, have built a harnessing device and turned that harnessing device into a train station so that they could run magical trains along these ley lines.
Of course. That
Uh,
just makes sense.
you see, as you exit, you see what looks to be a lizard, a kind of like a classic looking lizard folk, but looking very regal in a giant painting on the wall. And it says, underneath it, it says, Kazaa welcomes you to Stormspire. TM. And Kazaa is the head of Stormspire. He looks very regal. You can see a number of gems on the rings that he has been. This has been legit painted by like non-magic, non-special means. It's just been like straight up portraiture shit. And it is about like a 50-foot big picture of this dragon, this lizard folk wizard. Around here, you see a lot of people who aren't just your standard mutant or humans. You see a number of people who are clearly weird spellcasters. You see a couple who look to be like they are demons in the most basic of disguise. You see a few who are like walking in front of that demon and are clearly leading that demon with their brain. This is what is called a shifter, someone who summons an extra dimensional being and forces it to the to their will. You see a couple of mutant humans, but not too many. And any number of other types of weird wizards with their own little flair. A lot of wizards tend to favor like a purplish blue clothing. No one knows why, it's just kind of a thing. And if you ask the wizards about it, they don't really think about it, it's just that they do. But as you get out, Akari comes out and says, "Oh, yes, let's go to my vehicle." I call it
Yeah, we were told you had weren't given a lot of details.
the Velocipede.
Say what?
Oh, I should have asked for more details.
That's right. Kari has kind of a steampunk aesthetic a little bit. I forgot she was steampunk bird lady. Or steampunk feather-haired lady. As she takes you around, you come into this field where you see a couple of other vehicles. Some are just straight up mercenary vehicles. Some are magically like, one looks like a Volkswagen Bug that you see like 10 people get into. And then as it starts moving, like bubbles come out the back. The people going into it look like hardened mercenaries. But driving it, you see someone who clearly looks like a clown. It's very weird.
I want one.
I don't. I'm terrified.
There's something called the Ludicrous Mage, which pray you never piss one off. They can do things like give you theme music. So, like, when you enter a room, theme music plays.
You're
Now,
not convincing
Sincere.
me not to piss one off.
Now, Sincere, imagine entering a room
Uh,
and your theme music plays.
oh no.
Well, yeah, but like, is your theme music by Ludacris, or is it just?
Yeah, I'm
Is
sitting
the
here
dude
going, can I have
"Whoa"?
area codes? I would love that.
You'd love it for about a day. So the
Like a
she brings
wrestler.
you over, and you see what looks to be a giant kind of brownish. It's about the size of a city bus. Instead of wheels, it has
No.
a
man.
set of old style velocipedes in each wheel well, with one big wheel and then a small wheel beneath it.
Okay.
It does look a bit stylized. There's kind of like a gold inflection along the top of the bus, giving like scrolling. And it says, did I call it the or the velocipede?
Yeah.
And it doesn't, let me write that down before I forget it again.
Yes. Notes. They're not just for players, y'all.
Yeah. They're so I remember what shit I made up last time. And she goes, yes, this will comfortably seat 4. I had been told that we might have someone joining us, but they will meet us a little further out, from what I understand.
Oh,
This thing's the
he's
size of
not
a bus, you said?
gonna
It is basically a touring bus for like a band.
Okay. Sorry, please continue.
I
Riley.
don't know if it'll fit our 4th.
Oh, it'd be fine.
Adelaide.
Well, yeah, but not like that. This thing's huge. Unless I'm way off base here.
Kevin said touring bus, so I'm thinking of like a coach bus.
Yeah.
And then a dragon cat that you can ride
Which is
on.
roughly the size of a Volkswagen bus.
Maybe they can ride on the top.
As she goes up to the side of the bus, she goes, it's fully charged. Excellent. We should be able to go for a good number of days before we have to stop on a ley line.
Oh, does it charge via the ley line?
Yes,
Then.
it's magically driven. Well, it's magically I pilot it, but it is magically powered, yes. It has a small number of weapon systems. Weapons aren't my favorite thing to build. Too many people do it. It's a little cliche for techno wizards to build guns out of everything. Or everything into a gun.
Does it have the ability to just go without magic in case you run out?
Yes, but very slowly, as it is very heavy if the magic gives out.
That is fair, I suppose. Well, let us hope we don't run out of magic then. Like you said, a few days. Correct?
Yes, should be. And it's only about a day's travel if we travel carefully to meet my friend over in Nitro.
Alright then, anybody need to pee?
I didn't know I went on Z train. I think that was a.
You don't have
Wait.
a hose for that too.
No, I just take my pants down like everyone else.
I'm more concerned that you think you peed on the train, but you're not sure if you peed on the train.
Well, I had to think about it because I needed to remember there was a bathroom and that happened. I was a little lost in the whole we had a fight thing. But it's fine.
Rainier, do you need to pee? Because otherwise, I think we should probably get on the weird.
Well, as exciting as this is, we should get it going.
I
And
instantly regret the question.
the bus door opens the way a school bus door opens. From the outside, she snaps and it opens. Inside, you do see a spectral-looking like form that just pulls the thing, and the bus door opens. She goes,
Oh,
"What?
hi.
Matthew?"
Sorry, ghost.
Oh no, that's just Matthew. He's a magical construct that performed very basic tasks for me.
Rainier just walks onto the
Even
train.
that.
It's nice to meet you, Matthew.
It has no personality.
Oh. Neat.
Does it even have like features?
It has kind of like the you know those mannequins that you people pose for drawing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say it looks like one of those, except lightly glowing blue.
Oh my god, that's fucking terrifying.
Fantastic.
Ah.
I love that for us. Let's go.
Right. I just like reach over and just do the little, get kind of close to the where there should be a face and just kind of gloved hand in front for a second.
No response. It does not seem to have personal boundaries.
Great.
You're good.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right, Matthew, please
It's only good
vacate
that
my
makes
seat.
two of
Thank you.
us.
If you would, please open up the back half. Matthew stands up, goes back, and opens the curtains that go to the side, like clack, 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 clack. And back there are three, basically, I've been watching a lot of Lower Decks, so it's basically like three of those, and behind it is a bedroom/workshop.
Okay.
There's
so
also
like
a
looks basically.
Yeah, there's also a bathroom/shower on here as well.
Oh.
It says, if you do need to do anything smelly, let us know and we will stop. As I have not figured out ventilation for that doesn't involve suffocating who's ever in there.
Noted. Once Cecier's on the bus,
Yes.
you said there's a workstation.
There is, she keeps a workstation, like she has taken what used to be the master bedroom of this tour bus,
Mhm.
and like basically half of it is a workshop now, and half of it has a bed that has been literally like cut in half and sealed. Because it was easier than just finding a bed that would fit. Is take the one that was in here, cut it in half, and get it out of the bus.
So if Cecier goes on from the front and
Mhm.
looks to the back, what would she hit first? Would she hit somewhere that has like potential food in it, or would she hit the workstation?
You know what? You'd probably hit a little kitchen, and then the sides with the sleeping quarters, and then the workstation in the back.
Okay, so she's in the snack area, just already like just opening stuff. What do you have here? And just like opening things looking through.
There's more dry goods than anything else. You do find camping supplies and stuff for like setting up a little camping stove.
Oh, then
The camping stove seems weird. Instead of being attached to a gas tank, it is attached to a pair of diamonds lashed together with what look to be some kind of fiber optic cable.
So they're like actual diamonds? Is that what you're saying?
They are actual diamonds that have been wrapped in like a cat's cradle of fiber optic cable have been used to encircle these diamonds and attach it to the side of the Coleman camping stove.
She's wide-eyed staring at it and just poking with a little like clawed finger like at the diamonds like, is this what I
When you
think
touch
it
the
is?"
diamond, it feels hot.
Yeah!
Ah, it's we are guests here, Cecir.
I know. I am looking. Can I not look?
Oh, if you
You
want
burned your finger.
entertainment, oh, there's actually also a little area with like enough for like 4 people to sit at a little table. It's a very small table. But there is also a like DVD player in the classic road trip style. Something I'll throw a DVD on for the kids. That doesn't seem to be any different than a normal DVD player. There is a copy of
I would
Apocalypse
believe
Now.
you.
There is a copy of 7 Days and 7 Nights. There is a copy of Oh my god, I'm blanking on the name of it. The Kevin Smith Jesus one.
Oh, Dogma.
Dogma, yes. Just a bunch of random DVDs. None of them make any sense together.
That's real good.
If you do get bored, you can feel free to put something on. But do spend some time looking out the windows as well. If I need to show you things, I will just use the front as a projector screen. But let us get on our way.
Absolutely, and it's as a safety precaution. Is there anything besides the magically active rock? Make sure we don't touch this here, lest
I
we
thought
burn
that was
ourselves
kind of
again.
don't touch magically active rocks if you don't know what you're doing. Please.
But what if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know that's a bad idea? Then wouldn't you just do it?
Good news. That's a bad idea. You now know.
See? I don't know.
Excellent. You're adorable. All right. You hear the sound of it sounds like a tricycle, squeaky like tricycle wheels, and then it just keeps getting louder and louder until like the thing starts to lift off the ground a little, and it becomes just like a whirling engine sound as the bus begins to move forward as she drives the bus down what seems to be most of a mountain path. You're entering the magic zone, which you're coming from basically what used to be Lexington, Kentucky, and headed, let me see, east, northeast, very east, basically east. As you travel
Essentially
along,
east.
yeah, as you travel along, you do see a couple other like mercenary companies setting out from that area, headed in different directions. A good number of them start heading south. And she says, most of these groups are probably headed to Char. We're on a different location. Char being in what used to be called the Carolinas, on the side of the Dino Swamp. So, as we travel along, it's not too mountainous at first, but what used to be mostly flat land has suddenly become very jagged over the last couple hundred years as volcanoes erupted and titanic mountains formed out of what used to be simply forests. You're traveling near a ley line most of the way, but not all the time. Occasionally, you see trees that are not native to Earth that have started to grow in a little grove. At one point, you do see a little farm of people who have started to harvest these starberry trees. But you're
I
traveling
would
at
love to know what the
speed.
trees look like.
I'm
Oh,
sorry. The
okay.
trees, yes, I'm bad at this.
Because like,
Bad at that
what the fuck is a
specifically.
starberry tree?
It's kind of Susian, and it's kind of like a
Okay, good start.
what are they called? I'm looking at one right. Like I've got this Lego set on my desk, and it's got these
Truffula trees?
like that
Oh, they're palm trees.
palm trees.
Palm
Thank
tree?
you.
Oh, you
It's
said
kind of like a
Susie, and so I was
palm
like,
tree.
oh, the truffula trees.
It's kind of like a palm tree, but
Yeah,
with
that's what I was thinking.
much thinner, spikier leaves. And growing along the trunk of it are smaller branches with little points, and you can see it looks like the smaller ones start as just a line, like a banana shape, and then they grow another spike, like they grow another finger, kind of, is what they call them, until there's 5 of them, and then they fall off the tree. They are different colors of like a purple blue, and the leaves on this tree are much more red than you'd expect a tree in this season to be.
Okay.
It seems you see around it, around the base of the tree is very wide, and a lot of the things have been there's like no grass or anything around the base of the tree, because the soil needs are different, and so someone started farming these, and they kind of created a grove of them. You do notice that around them also are a number of guys with like laser guns, and every farmer has at least a laser pistol.
Fines,
Because
honestly.
yeah, this is a world where out of nowhere a pack of velociraptors can just run up and snatch someone.
Listen, farmers carry guns in Alaska, so
Yeah, it's like, yeah. and all of them know how to use them.
I live in Texas. Farmers carry guns to the bank there. Like,
All right.
sorry, too real.
Yeah, I was just like, well, there's nothing for them to prove at the bank. So, well, maybe their bank accounts are small, and that's why they feel the need to. Never mind. All right. As they travel along, you hit a part of a river, and she goes, "Oh, prepare for water." The thing rocks slightly, and you start to hear a splashing sound uh, as the velocipede starts to go over the water. Starts to go like into the river, and then instead of submerging, just kind of floats on it, with the wheels now spinning now spinning into the water. And it's choppier. She's like, well, I've not tried it on an open sea, but I hear that's a bad idea anyway in this world.
Let's not go to the ocean.
Well, we are going to the coast.
No, not in this though. This is more the. Not
Oh
that
yes,
I doubt.
let's stop
you're
at the coast. Excellent
Let's
point.
stop at the coast. Yeah.
At some point, uh, you see. It doesn't matter who sees it, so I'm like calling for a notice check is here because someone's going to see it. You see, coming through the trees, running at roughly the same speed, which is approximately 40 miles an hour in this bus, because you are going like around trees. There is no open road here. You are occasionally going through trees when there's no other option. Um, you see a green running form of a dragon cat that is keeping up with the bus. And she goes, "Oh, I guess we should pull over and speak." The bus like sinks. You are no longer on the water when this happens. You do not sink into the ground. There is
Good
a
call.
good bit of trees. This is a heavily forested area, and you do see behind you. You have left a bit of a path, to put it lightly. And the cat you have known as Warhol, that Tannhauser's cat Warhol, is here. He goes, "Hello, you must be Warhol. They've been doing wonderfully."
Does Warhol say anything? Or just
You
kind of
just
like,
see Warhol, for those who haven't heard him before, is basically He-Man's battle cat with 6 legs and a dragon face.
I
The
mean,
yeah.
my first reaction, of course, is like as we've slowed down, is to like stick my upper body out one of the windows, just like reach over and say hi to Warhol. Like,
While
good
running,
kitty.
one of the paws goes up and waves as the other 5 continue running along.
Did not know Warhol could do that. Okay.
is there a roof hatch on the bus?
There is, in
That
fact,
we're
your
on?
old style. It is exactly the one that was installed. There doesn't seem to be anything altered about it, except there is a lock on it. That it says, "Push here to open."
Oh, if there's instructions, there's no like obvious warning because Cecile will ask if she's in someone's place that she likes.
Yeah.
About things like that. But if there's
Oh.
just like a push this to open, she just boop and she's on the roof.
Yeah. You had to push where it said "push here to open," otherwise it wouldn't open at all. But the second you touched it, it just opened right up.
She just scurries up, and the last thing like the other two see is just gonna be like her tail disappearing out the top. And she just sits on top of the bus, like "Hello, Warhol," and just waving.
Warhol gives a
Oh,
bit of
then
a.
she. Oh my god.
It's so big. And you said the size of a Volkswagen bus is
Generally,
Warhol,
yeah,
right?
it is. It is bigger than a horse. Maybe I'm underestimating the size of a VW bus, but it's about Warhol from like snout to tail is about 10 to 15 feet long. We'll put it on the 15 feet long, with the tail fully straight back out. Um, Dragon cats are
Okay.
rare, but people have seen them. Like they're not unknown. Warhol is noted to be a little smaller than others. For those who have, looked it up. And you once heard someone call Warhol the Runt,
Oh.
but Warhol didn't react to it at all.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I shudder to think then.
If Rainier hasn't said anything to Warhol yet, just Sasir's head pops up, like, completely upside down, back in the hatch, just like, Rainier! Warhol is here! And just is pointing at the window, and then she pops back out again.
Thought we were supposed to go speak with him. That would...
she's up there again, just real excited.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, that's Warhol was supposed to be coming along with us. Tannhauser said that he'd rendezvous, and well, and then I just sort of gesture out the window. Got here faster than we did. Good kitty.
she says, "Have you eaten?" And Warhol just nods. Goes, "Excellent." So, is
Anyone I know?
Warhol looks at you
Joke, Warhol.
and gives a little snort, which could be a shake of the head no, or just a sneeze.
Happy to these conversations we have.
All right. Well, our plan is to go to Nitro, and we will speak to my friend Unli in there. Sorry, a child just went running past my room. Anyway.
Warhol, after, I don't think the beds in here are going to be a little snug for you.
Warhol once again looks at you.
Ugh.
And she goes, "I don't believe Warhol's going to be in the bus, or in the velocipede, but will make their own way and be kind of behind us, looking for trouble."
I think you're just to Adelaide.
I get that, I'm just such a weird gal.
I don't think you're strange.
Thank you. That's coming from you, Rainier. That means a lot. So anyway, should we get underway again then?
Yes. Warhol says something doesn't seem right too far ahead, or Warhol's giving me impressions of something being a little wrong in town, so we should approach carefully.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, back in the velocipede. You get on and you drive for about another hour and a half before you come to the outskirts, or you see off in the distance there are mountains. The Appalachians are off in the distance. You're seeing just a lot of forest. Every now and then you'll come across what used to be a town hundreds of years ago, but is now clearly been overgrown and untended. You see areas that clearly have been overgrown and untended in the past 5 years and indicate someone tried to build there and it didn't take. You do see there are creatures around of all kinds. You do notice that there are a pack of Brontosaurus off in the distance with their long necks eating from the tops of trees. And you do occasionally hear the calls of a pack of raptors, but in the, again, in the distance. You also hear a weird undulating kind of heavy metal screech, and give me a common knowledge on that.
Sure.
Ooh.
Love to get common.
Just...
Oh!
Alright.
Oh!
I rolled the pink ones.
Oh.
I critically failed.
Alright, so, make a fear check, Adelaide.
Oh, Jesus, okay.
Oh no.
Oh no. Please stand by. Here we go.
All right, you make it with an 11.
thank
You
I hit with a
that
raise on the fear check. Thank God.
that is not. Yes, you got a 2 and an 11 on your d6. We're playing Savage Worlds where dice can explode, so on a d6 you could get like a 12 or if you roll the max number, you roll it again, and sometimes numbers get big.
Yeah, I'll get a 40 on a D4.
Yeah, it's possible. The You have a memory of hearing this in battle. You're not sure, and you were in a fight against the Coalition at the time. It definitely wasn't
Cool.
coming from the Coalition's side, but it was something you don't quite remember what was causing it. Rainier, you've heard this more recently. When you first came to this place, you were traveling with Tannhauser a little bit, and he came across a group of what are known as my God, my mind just emptied of all the information on them.
Oh.
The Beast Riders. They are somewhat reptilian psychics. They look very heavy metal. Where's the Tomorrow Legion Player's Guide? I think they're in here. I forget the name. The Simvan. That's it. The Simvan are a not a psychoactive. That's the word I was looking for. Race of DBs, which means dimensional beings, who have a special psionic bond with animals. So they can find like the most wild beast and turn it into a mount. They tend to have like dreadlocks and metal armor. They are very they're very heavy metal. A lot about them is like an album cover. For there's a lot of guys wearing loincloths and metal bracers who scream a lot among the Simvan. They tend to be in traveling packs, and they are known to eat flesh of their enemies. They have a reputation for being wild and scary. But Rainier, you know that is a reputation that is not always earned. There are plenty of Simvan who are more interested in trade, and what they really love is just riding on their beasts to go find new cool beasts to ride. It is like their imperative is to go ride the biggest, coolest thing they can, and the leader of any tribe of them often has the biggest, coolest beast.
That's cool. That's so cool.
I love that they function on like Invader Zim logic of
My tallest.
biggest guy gets coolest thing.
It is not always the biggest, but it is always the coolest.
Fair.
Yeah.
So good.
I think there's a brief moment where I'm kind of leaned back and when like just sort of idly watching out the window this whole time and nodding off, but just sort of lazing and hear that noise and reflexively like reach over and grab the barrel of my rifle that's kind of slung nearby and just bring it up to a ready position, very like.
Yes, we should be good. But it is good to be on alert.
Pressed up against the window, trying to get a view of like just trying to see whatever mounts they possibly can.
Looks. You do see over by the tall necks, the tall Brontosaurus necks, there are a number of Simvin on Osteosaurus. It's a mount that most of them ride, and like they raise them to ride. Which is basically like a movie velociraptor as opposed to actual velociraptors. You do see the one that is in the charge that is leading and not actually charging what looks to be one of the smaller tall necks is riding on a rhino buffalo, which I think I explained it. It's just an enormous beast with a giant horn up front and paws that can crush cars.
They made it easy to guess this.
Sorry,
it's harder to tell
so, like,
because vicious things can come in small packages. So sometimes if you're not familiar, you kind of have to think about it for a bit. But well, he's clearly in charge.
like squint out the window.
You do see the
Clearly.
one that gave that scream does also have the most metal hair. Uh, she says, I'm sure we won't be a bother to them. They probably don't even care about us. But we should continue on. I think just past this, there's a little valley here, and it should open up into a wider plain where the city of Nitro used to be. But we're looking for what used to be the high school that they've turned into a compound for trade and survival. Yes.
So setting the rifle back down and like turning the safety back on, set it against the wall. The hell is high school? You don't have to
know.
answer that. You can cut there. You can cut there.
That's what the sign says. As we cut and we come around, looking past those mountains into the open plain, and there's just smoke. It's the
Happy
bad kind
smoke,
of
cooking
smoke.
smoke.
It is not cooking smoke. It is a fire that has raged out of control for a little bit of time. That's not good. And pulls out what looks to be like a tablet that has all. It looks like a Swarovski encrusted tablet. That she presses on one of the crystals and it turns on, and she goes, "Oh, I'm picking up some signals." She kind of tunes in and says, "We're under it. We're sending out this send. Too late. Oh no, that's not good."
Any faster?
Are you able to respond?
This one is post dated. They put it on a repeater.
All the more reason to move quickly. And I shout towards the front of the bus. Hey, can you step it up on this thing? Zoom time. Blue guy. Let's go.
The bus did not move any faster. She goes up to it herself, and basically sits down, and he just kind of pops into location next to her, as though it was more of a like dislocation of a person in a space dislocates someone else. And she twists the she has the throttle on the steering wheel, twists the throttle to go faster in that direction, and says, "Are you sure you want to take a fast and hard approach? I'm going to stop about a mile out."
Anybody else has got any other better ideas? And I'm moving to that hatch we saw earlier that Sasir climbed up and like pushing that open and heading up on top to like maybe trying to get a better view.
You do find the top is easy to walk on. It's kind of like you're not like getting super amount of wind resistance. You're getting some, but there's kind of like a bubble around this fan of protection. It's not quite a warp bubble, but give me a notice roll.
Sure.
It is daylight right now. Yeah.
Oh,
Working with a touchpad. There we go.
goggles
I'm
are
rather sure you have a
Roll
mouse
dice.
around there somewhere.
I'm out of USB ports for a
Yeah,
variety
that's
of reasons
true.
that are too boring to get into. But I rolled a 5 and a 9. So that's a hit with a
9
raise.
is a hit with a raise. Looking from a distance, you see a compound that is clearly was at one time a high school and sports complex, where like the sports complex slowly got bigger than the high school. And there's a bit of a stadium. It's not a huge stadium. It's not tall, but like half the wall of it has been just exploded out, freshly. Parts of the building are currently and still on fire. And you can see from where you are. I don't think you've got like life sign detection from a mile away. You don't have a multi-optic like implant, do you?
No, I figure at most I probably got like a pair of binoculars.
But you got a
Or
hit with a
maybe a
raise.
scope on my rifle. Like we could say like I
Yeah,
bring the
you have
rifle up
something
and
to
like
see
scope
closer.
down it, and I'm just like or pull the scope off it and like knock that shit up.
All right. As you look around, you could. I never looked up what the mascot for Nitro High School was. I now want to know. Sorry.
Big NOS tank.
this is very important. Like, it's just I assume it's something.
Hopefully, it's not racist. Oh, it's like a weird. It's a growling cat.
Huh.
It's a cool looking cat. I just looked it up. So
True cool cat.
it's like a gray cat face with some cool, yeah. There's a giant sign of it that looks like it has been like a claw has been put through that face. And the claw would indicate that whatever did it is big. Um, you see through your binoculars a monster you have seen before. Give me an occult to see how much you know. You will know what this is, but I just want to see how deeply you know
Sure.
it.
Absolutely. Rolling an occult. Ah.
You got a pair of
Mm.
threes.
Got a pair of threes.
All right, so you
I
will
would
have
like
heard
to
of it.
Well, I'd like to spend a Benny here.
All
I'm
right,
gonna spend
I
one
forgot to
Benny for the
refresh
reroll.
Let me
There we go,
refresh
there's a
everyone's
hit.
bennies. You get 3 bennies.
I do, and then I spend one, which is great because I just rolled a 4, so that gives me something at
Now it
least.
is 2. Okay. I believe
4 and 5.
Rainier should start with 5. Paste. And
Oh,
Cecile
right, I forget
starts
you had
with
like
4.
fucking
Paste.
5 bennies.
Paste.
Haven't
Paste.
used
So
them all
good.
yet.
All right. The high school has been destroyed. You see a giant form moving through it. It is somewhat. Where did I put the basically monster name? There it is. It is somewhat smooth and creepy. Let me. There it is. I just opened the
Smooth
page
and
and you press
creepy.
it. It looks
I
like
call
a.
college.
It has a fish head, and it looks like if a bodybuilder had a fish head and large mechanical arms that look like pistons that fire into the ground, and was 10 feet tall.
Oh no, it's like the guy from Cult of the Lamb you don't like, Fox.
Yeah,
Kind of.
actually, a little bit.
It is one of these.
It's so
God.
cool.
It's
Except
kinda
at
cute
least
in its
its
own
mouth
fucked up
is in the
way.
right spot.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah,
top.
honestly, I'd rather party with that 10 feet tall, you say.
Yes, it is
That's large. Okay.
large.
Neat.
That is what is known as an immolator. Did you
Oh,
spent a Benny to get a hit? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I spent a bit to get a hit, yeah.
That is something called a demonics. During the Tolkien War, the Coalition Tolkien War, demonics were summoned and harnessed and given cybernetics. They're a minor subdemon that existed in a dimension no one knew about until the war started and someone went looking for troops, basically. And they summoned a just incredible number of these demons and then augmented them to fight for them. The city-state of Tolkien, the magical city-state of Tolkien did this. And this is part of what drove the Cyber Knights to say, this has gone too far, Tolkien. You've crossed the line. The summoning of the Daemonics became a powerful weapon. And, as many as them were summoned, a lot of them died in the war. Shot down by Coalition or taken out by forces that didn't align with them afterwards. But you see at least one of them here, and you know they travel in packs.
Oh. Oh boy.
Yeah, I think we get the POV shot of this thing, and then there's that reverse shot of like slowly lowering the binoculars. That moment of cold fear before diving back out, like just boom, back down into the bus, like landing with a. We got demons. Okay, so
Wait, did you say demons?
yeah, so I don't know if they were summoned here, brought here, or just found the place, but I saw at least one Demon X out there by itself.
Oh, a Demon
They
X.
travel.
I don't know what
Demon
those are.
X. Tall, fish, robot arms, bad news, and a bad time.
Oh.
I wouldn't worry so much about quiet, because I don't think we're gonna sneak up on the damn thing.
What about the Warhol? Should we warn Wall? I don't
Warhol will
know.
know.
I said, do we know where he is right now? Is he nearby?
You do. He is very hard to spot when he doesn't want to be.
Okay.
And right now, the Warhol, the form of Warhol kind of ripples among the leaves next to the thing. And it ripples amongst the trees, kind of like it's using a camouflage. They're using a camouflage while they run. And you can see them because they got close to you and are moving. But if Warhol were standing still, it would be near impossible to see him.
Okay.
Warhol kind of goes around one of the sides, towards one of the sides. Would you like to stop here and do a recon to get better numbers, or would you like to just keep charging in? She says the video is from a few days ago.
You mean the recorded message we got?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How do you guys feel about taking this? Because I know what I would do, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the smart thing to do. I'm literally a knight in shining armor, and those are the things I'm supposed to go kill.
Oh, that's not an immolator. Sorry, there is no immolator here. That was a manslayer, they call that.
Oh, even better.
Manslayer. Okay.
Huh. I mean, you are kind of in charge. Whether Adelaide
Oh,
likes it or
no.
not.
Okay.
So yes, I'll let you out here, and I'll do what support I can from a distance, but not very good at close range.
No, that thing's a manslayer. You need to keep your distance from this. Make sure to keep the engine rolling. We may need a way out of there very, very quickly. You two, whatever big guns you brought, I hope they're big enough. And I go to exit the bus, and as I do, just instantly shout my psi sword, like immediately in hand.
All right, you're some distance. You're more than a football field or two away from the actual thing. The terrain here is, I wouldn't call it smooth. It seems like some of it. All right, hold on. Let me just envision it fully in my head. Okay, it seems like they had multiple fields, one of which was a baseball field. They turned into a orchard, an apple orchard. So that and half a football stadium, half the remains of a football stadium, which still actually has the gridiron and everything set on it, seems to be between you and the demonics you can see. Past that are other buildings, some of which are large enough that a demonics could be inside. There is very likely an Olympic-sized gymnasium in there as well. That kind of thing. There's a number of what look to be residential areas off to one of the sides of the building. That's kind of where most of the fire is currently.
Hey. Well, residential plus fire means survivors. So that's certainly the direction I would want to start moving.
When I say fire, I do mean raging fire. I don't mean like campfire.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. But you start moving towards that area. Are you moving with any sense of stealth, or is the group moving quickly?
So I think there's a moment of like realizing that discretion is perhaps the better part of valor sometimes, and I kind of stop and look back over my shoulder and look at Cecile, and it's you're a lot quieter than I am. You want to go ahead and recon this before we get ourselves into something too deep?
I will do what I can. And Cecile's gas mask goes back on. The goggles are already back on because it's daytime.
Yes.
And what is outside? Has Cecile ever come across that before? Like
No.
the manslayer? Okay.
No, they aren't very common. Most of them died during the big Tolkien War a few years ago,
Okay.
but some of them still exist.
Does she come across like just demons in general? Like
Do you have skill in occult?
I do not.
You know rumors of people who had where you grew up, you heard a couple of years ago rumors about a guy who had a demon in his gang that pretended to be a human.
Mhm.
But you don't know a lot of details about them. You know demons are all different shapes and sizes. You've seen the basic, like, here's a picture of a demon. Some demons breathe fire. Every demon is different. Do not believe them.
Okay.
We also haven't worked like super long together, but that's one of those things that if it would have come up around Adelaide, she would have just offered a very similar thing of just like, they're bad. I don't talking about them, and they're a good way to get yourself killed. Stay the fuck away from demons. But otherwise, she
No.
just kind of was like, "Oh, let's talk about this."
So, Cecile, give me a. I keep wanting to say sneak, but I mean stealth. Roll your sneaky.
Okey doke. Gonna do a sneak. Pair
Pair of fives.
of
Perfect.
fives.
Yep. So that's a hit. You get pretty close. You can tell that these things are dangerous and large. The Manslayer is about 10 feet big, and it is the smallest of them. Yeah, it's kind of the infantry unit. Um, and you see around the residential areas are a couple of clearly demonics, now that you know what they're somewhat like. But these ones look like enormous dogs with kind of like hammerhead shark eyes on top and fanged maw, like a kind of like orc tusks and then one big tooth going down and then like another tooth going forward. Uh, you see also on it is a platform that looks like it could be used as a staging area for someone who was standing there. And you see on top of that like a jagged break where there used to be like a windshield and a chair for someone to sit up there. There is no one sitting on there. You
Does it
see
look
two of these
damaged?
things. It is the parts that have been grafted onto it used to be a chair, and that part is damaged.
Okay.
The beast itself has like no wounds you can see, and you see it give a bit of a snarl as another one comes around the corner. Um, and it's clearly been eating something.
Mm.
You move around a little more, and you see there used to be a couple of rhino beetles around here, a couple of mounts. Those are all just dead. You do see evidence of people who were trying to defend themselves and got struck down. You find it's easy to find dead bodies here. This wasn't a big town. They had a couple of defenders. You see what looks to be pieces of a cyborg that have been strewn about. Like someone clearly took that cyborg apart slowly. Um, it's a bad scene. The the building from the side is even more damaged. What used to be a big gymnasium that was enclosed now has a giant hole in it. Give me a notice, Cecile.
Okay. Pair of fives again.
Okay, pair of fives.
Looks familiar.
Just copy and paste that for the rest of the night. It's fine.
All right. You see, in sitting inside of the gymnasium, just like crashed itself onto what used to be the bleachers. You see a thing that's kind of like a cross between a crab, dolphin, and crayfish, with sickly white and pale skin. I don't actually have a photo for this one on me. It is about. It is very long. It's about 15 feet long and about 20 feet high. And it's kind of just
Cool.
like lounging, kind of Jabba the Hutt style. It has got massive claws, and this, it's kind of disgusting to look at. Yeah.
Ugh.
You see one of those, and next to it is a smaller thing that's kind of like petting that. And that has uh it's a massive head flowing into the torso covered with eyes, and two smaller arms over a second pair of smaller spindly two huge arms over a pair of smaller spindlier arms, and cybernetic legs like Mojo from X-Men. This one seems to be petting the other one. It's not as large, but it is using its its top set of arms and its smaller set of arms to like rub across the thing, and it looks a little bored. There's no reason for you to be able to understand the language of demons, but this one is saying something to the other one. But it's demonic in nature, this language. I can't think of a reason you would know demon speak.
No.
Yeah, we generally didn't go over who would know what language, but if there's a reason for it, I'll give it to you, but like I can't.
Yeah, no.
If you could speak demon, we would have questions for each other.
Where are you from again? Canada.
So where'd you learn that, by the way?
So you have found sending back Adelaide comes up with the name of these things. One Basil, who is petting a feculence.
Yeah.
Like you do.
You have spotted one
No,
manslayer.
I do not.
And 2 hangdogs. Adelaide, you know the hangdog would often be used as like a weapons platform, and like controlled, like a person-sized thing would be on the back of it piloting it. But it appears there is no one in charge of this thing except the Basal, who seems to be in charge of the whole troop of demonics.
So we have comms then, right?
Yes, you all have been given standard issue comms. Kari is on your comms as well.
Is it the kind that goes in your ear?
Yes, it's the Hardison from Leverage. Perfectly fits. We don't have to do makeup to have it in there.
It's
kind of
raccoon ear.
Yours is kind of like up here.
Yep.
Yeah, yours. If you want yours to be like a piercing.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I love that. Sarah, when she took off, stayed low when she went through the orchard. She kind of dashed like tree to tree a little bit, and tried to stay as downwind as possible as she moved. Because if she doesn't know anything about what she's against, she does just standard survivalist things. One of them being downwind.
You do notice at one point the hangdogs especially are like sniffling the air a little bit, and you had made a good choice to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't appear that they've become aware of your party yet, though.
It's definitely when she comes across the what I have written down as the cradlefish.
Yeah.
Before you said what it was called.
Ew.
There's like a moment where, like, under her mask, she does that like gag thing that like cats and raccoons do.
Yeah.
And you don't get the communication back, or like describing what it is, because she just has no idea what the hell she's looking at, besides a nightmare.
It is absolutely a nightmare to look at.
And when she kind of backs off from that scene and kind of disappears.
That's true. Give me a fear check. They cause fear.
Ooh, I get +2 to fear rolls.
Alien and creepy demonics cause fear check when first encountered. I will say, Adelaide, you do not have to make this check against the demonics. You have encountered them.
Okay, so
There's a reason why I should make them.
I have +2 to fear checks and -2 to rolls on the fear table, because I have brave as an edge.
Gotcha. So you need to get 4 or higher. There is no stated penalty, so click the thing that says fear check, or I think it looks like a person going.
It's a screaming face. Yeah.
It's a little emoji at the top of the character sheet.
We're using Roll20, and it has like a little Kevin McAllister.
So I have a +2. So I have a 5, I believe.
Is that did you click the fear check? Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
+2, 5 is what is good enough to succeed. You are not like frozen. You are able to continue performing, but you are aware that these things are dangerous.
She's not having a good time. She's just like gagging a little bit. But she does kind of back off from there and tries to find like what she feels is like a safe-ish spot.
Mhm.
To fully communicate back. And asking Adelaide what she should do next. Do you want me to return or?
One other thing, you do see that there are a couple, only like 4 or 5 people who are chained against the wall in the gymnasium as well.
Oh, good.
You do see that there are a few people who are still here that have been taken captive.
Okay.
It's times like this that it's fun traveling with the lawful good.
Yep. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, demons, y'all.
So it would be like describing all the other things. Like whenever she feels like she's safe and she's on the move, she's quietly speaking to the others, like updating them what she's seeing, just so she knows what she's looking at. And then after she comes across the gymnasium and ducks out and just describes the other two things and goes, one other thing. They have captives, it seems. I'd say 4, maybe 5 is a little difficult to see. But there are survivors here, but they are in chains in the gymnasium.
As the quantity isn't really important. If there's even one, we're going in there. All right.
I figured.
Good work.
Mercy, would you like me to stay here and wait for you, or do you want me to come back?
Yeah, get somewhere safe, cause I'm gonna go say hi. And I start marching towards the I just lost the word for it, the gymnasium that had been blown open.
All right, closer to you than the gymnasium is the football stadium.
Okay.
Are you headed into the middle, or are you going to try to take one out before headed towards the others? Because in between you and the gymnasium is the 2 hangdogs. Off to one side is the manslayer. Would you like to try to isolate the manslayer? That seems possible.
Okay. I mean, if we could kill this thing.
It is not quiet as it marches around, kind of like it picks up part of the field goal post and starts just digging it into the side of the stadium, just for fun, because it's bored. So, sounds might.
Hey, Rainier, wanna make a mistake?
Oh, we're about to make a mistake.
See if you can get around behind that thing. I'm gonna try to get its attention. Hey, asshole!
Oh no.
All right, you get up pretty close. Rainier, give me a stealth check.
Okie dokie. I can actually do that. Let's see if I do it well. Maybe.
You got a 28.
It's an okay roll. It's a 28 on a d6.
On your d6, you rolled a 28. 6, 6, 6, 6. What was that? It's 4 6s and a 4.
Did you make deal with actual Faye before you made this character? I feel like you did.
Listen,
Are you
the rolls go like this. So
It's true.
So I might have, honestly, this is all over the place.
All right.
Hell.
Rainier just walks casually, and then you can't see them.
Good.
Are you ready to go, Rainier? Rainier?
Adelaide, do you want to talk to this thing for a second before, or are you just like picking the fight?
Oh,
'Cause it goes,
like I'm
What?
making
Even
it like
one?
the moment
It says
the moment it turns to like face me or address me in any capacity,
Mhm.
it is like down, sword back charge at this thing.
All right, that
Like,
sounds like initiative.
Psy shield coming up.
I will say, Cecile, you are able to get close enough to engage in this fight without giving away your position to anything else.
Okay. Yeah, I figured she would play Overwatch and then probably like either hear over comms or see some shit's happening, go,
Recall.
of course, and then just
Recall.
get
Deal
involved.
cards to turn order. Now let's put it in actual order. All right, so Siri, you're actually first.
Oh, shit.
And Rainier, you will have what is called the drop.
Okay.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah, that's not a good option. All right, so Cecile, you've got the King of Hearts.
Eee.
And you may choose to hold if you'd like.
That's
when you go early, you can hold until you want to act. If you
Mhm.
attempt to interrupt someone else's action, you roll athletics against their athletics to see which action happens first. Being on hold is very useful sometimes. If you want to just go after someone's done something, just let me know and you'll be right there.
Yeah, I think because she's so used to having to be kind of like concealed and everything, she would wait to see what transpires, but if what they're going after seems like it's about to like make a move, she's gonna try to interrupt it. More than likely.
All right. Okay. Up next is enemy 2, who are not here currently.
Oh.
NPC 2 is doing something else.
Oh.
Lady Adelaide, it is now you.
And where a thing happens.
Can I
You
see?
are charging.
Great.
You're within a move of it.
Sweet. Love to move up and just fucking wail into somebody. So what we're gonna do then, just to start with real quick, is go ahead and try to pop off Smite as an
Oh,
innate
I'm
ability.
sorry.
So get
This
that
is
for free. Oh,
this is something I should note. It is actually 18 feet tall, making it size category 5. That means something in this system. There's
it's
a
8
chart
feet
somewhere.
taller than you said before.
Yes, it is 18 feet
That's very
taller,
big.
but it's also 2 points easier to hit than I said before.
Oh good. Oh good.
Because
Oh good.
size being, I think it's +1 per size category difference. You get a +1 to hit it. But continue with your turn. I apologize.
Believe. No, I
I'll look
believe
that
that's
up.
the case. Well,
You do your thing.
sure, absolutely. What I'm gonna do? It's called a wild attack. Yeah. What does that do for me? That sounds like fun. Let's make mistakes.
Yay!
+2 to my fighting, +2 to my damage, but I'm vulnerable until the end of the attacker's next turn. Okay, cool. That's fun. So, then yeah, what I'm gonna do is
The scale modifier is +2, by the way. So you have a +2
fantastic.
to things against it.
Okay. So yeah, so then I'm gonna spend the movement. So just taking I'm taking one action, but here. Let's start with the free thing I get to do, because I get to do this because it's an innate ability. Let me roll to see if Smite pops off, because I would love to hit this thing very hard.
Your smite is a hit with a
Let's-
raise.
Beautiful, fantastic. So it's a +4 to my damage.
What happens when you
Fabulous.
cast smite?
Already- So we see as she's charging in, and she's got the psi shield up on her arm, and the sword is back, and it's the first couple of steps are kind of like that slow charge up until it's like a full just sprint, and that ragged brown cloak she usually wears like flies back behind her, like this not the most majestic cape, or it would be if it was like wonderfully resplendent and gloriously arrayed with raiments, but no, it's just this ratty old tattered rag she keeps around, but it betrays all of that gleaming cobalt blue armor, and the sword she's got held back behind her. We see it trace like a streak, like it's leaving an almost an after image, like Tron, like a Tron bike, kind of a little bit behind her as her eyes flash blue, and it flashes along her armor, and it streaks down to her hand, and the sword, it doesn't like massively grow in size, but it almost gets this, it's like it grows like an inch or so on each side, and like this aura burns off of it, because I got a hit with a raise. And then after I close the distance, I am just going to go in and wild attack this motherfucker.
All right. It's tough as hell, so.
It is tough as hell. So, this time I'm going to remember that I have improved frenzy.
Nice.
So what I'm going to do is just roll my sword. Was it 3 times?
Gotcha. We'll only take the
I
first
believe.
wild die roll though, because you don't get a wild die with each roll.
Exactly. Correct. That's rolls an extra fighting die with two fighting. Oh, it's right. It's with up to 2 fighting attacks on the same turn.
Yeah.
So never mind. I'd have to take another attack. All right. That's just fine. So I will do this, and then do that, and let's take a look at the results. Okay, not the best rolls in the world. So a
Nope.
6, a 4, and a 1. But all of those are at a 2 because this thing is huge, and then another +2 because it's a wild attack. So all these are at a +4.
All right, its parry is 6.
Okay,
As it
rad.
gets its giant shovel-looking hand kind of in your way to kind of block your attacks, you lay in a couple of solid blows, but are they strong enough? So that's 2 hits out of yeah.
Oh,
You
the
use your
6
wild die one
6 that-
goes up to a 6.
So let me roll some damage then.
All right, none of them were with a raise, so it's only a 17. Are you
Yeah.
good with that, or would you like to see if you can get higher?
Actually, wait, that's not a 17. That's a 17 plus 4 plus 2. So it's 17 plus 6 because I've got Smite active, which I got with a raise,
Which
and a
brings
wild
it to
attacking, which is another 2 damage.
Brings it to a 23.
3. That'd be 23 damage.
All right, that does, and your armor piercing is 6, bringing that down to 23.
Yeah, 86.
That hits. Yeah.
Sweet. So
Yeah.
it is a blur of like blue energy, and righteous screaming as I just blow after blow into this thing, just trying to
All right,
make myself obnoxious.
your first attack shakes it, but these things are tough as hell, and this thing needs to be actually wounded twice before it drops. So go ahead and roll that second damage, because
Okay,
the 4 turned into a hit.
got it. All right.
That is a 19 with an AP6, which, as we know, does hit, because a 17 hits.
Yes.
Gets through. So you madly just dig into this thing. Rainier, you can see this from your excellent vantage point, kind of in the stadium wherever you are. Cecile, you can see this from your kind of overwatch spot. It looks like this isn't effortless. It's wild and it's a little chaotic. It's also extremely skilled. The damage here isn't just one blow and then a second blow. It's a bunch of small hits catching the sides of its arm where there's flesh instead of metal, catching vital parts of the metal. As this thing's one of its claws begins to crack open, and it gets sword wounds that aren't healing right away, stabbed into its torso as Adelaide comes back to a kind of like resting position, and it is bleeding badly with a dark kind of oozy blood of kind of a greenish black color. Demon blood. Okay, that's Adelaide's turn.
Yeah, I'm vulnerable now.
Something
it-
happens in the distance.
It's not alive. Or I mean, is it still alive?
It is still alive.
Okay, cool.
Um,
I will try to
Does,
make sure your vulnerability means nothing.
Thank you. That's what I was counting on.
I need.
It's like, I'll go all out, and then my friend will get my back.
We'll see
Okay.
what the rolls say.
Can Sassir see anything from like her vantage point where she ended up?
Yeah, you saw all that happen.
As far as like if there's anything else we need to worry about.
You kind of have half an eye on the hangdogs, but where you needed to get back to get a view on this, you had to kind of abandon the. You couldn't like see the gymnasium from where you are.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Sorry. Okay. NPC does something, but y'all aren't seeing that, so and it didn't work anyway. All right,
Okay.
Rainier.
Well, I have. So, would danger sense give me any idea of what the hell is happening?
Oh, you see all this. Your stealth was so good. You're essentially in the tunnels coming out from the locker rooms. And this thing's in like the 50-yard line. You're able to move up to this thing without too much stress.
Okay.
Meaning it won't cost you anything to get there.
Well, as they approach, the ice crystals start forming around their hands, coming out in long spikes, and it's just my brain just went, I don't know how to do this. Apparently,
You're doing
as they approach, and they kind of take. They don't look stressed about it. Not that anybody can actually see, but they're kind of approaching leisurely, and then I can only really describe it as like a jaunty jog. Like when somebody is jogging towards something they're kind of excited about. Like
the first
oh, your
couple
friend is in the
steps
distance,
of a
or there's
triple
a
jump.
dog. Like, or man,
Like the
I'm
first
so
cou-
excited to
yeah.
see that hot dog stand. Yeah, and then just kind of takes a couple of like quick like bouncing steps, pulls back, and just gores this thing down its back.
All right, so to begin with, start with your Psionics ice roll
Yeah.
with your smite.
I was not anticipating the prop. I am shook.
It's from my monk from my monk cosplay from Diablo.
God, I fucking love it.
I have another one. The other one's huge. So let's see. Is this smite?
All right, that's a 4, so your power activates.
Okay, cool.
That's all you needed.
And then you do this.
All right, your fighting roll was crap. Would you like to?
Yes, I would like to reroll.
Okay, spend a Benny.
Hey.
That is a 6, and you get a +2 to hit because it's so goddamn huge.
Yay. Okay, so I'm gonna hit it then. Rolled. Okay, that'll be nice. It's a 20. It's a black number,
Yeah.
not a green number. It's a
And you have
normal
AP
good roll.
12. You've got AP 12.
It's true.
Yeah.
My God, y'all killed this thing fast. You get it right in the spine with your first hit, and then you just keep kind of wailing away on that. You weren't sure if it had a spine there, but most things do. And you know demons are weird, but you just found a part that looked to be kind of weak. Adelaide got it, completely ignoring you. I think you actually should have had bonus damage as well, because yeah, you did hit with a raise. So it's above 20, it's like a 24 and then 2 for the drop. So 26. You come just your jaunty little like hop and then like long jumper hop onto its back, coming down with the claw right into it. It shrieks a bit as you cut what seems to be both cybernetic and spinal cabling. It gives off a bellow, and so yep. All right, and yeah, some things probably heard that.
Yeah. Just I assume as it like topples over, even if it's big, Rainier is 6'2". So as it topples over, Adelaide probably just sees like from here up, just over the thing's side, and just kind of gets a salute with the weapon.
All right.
Just covered in black blood.
That thing is dead, but there is some commotion as another enemy does something.
Okay.
All right, we're on to a new round. Deal turns to initiative order.
Oh, did Cecile get to go?
Yes. Oh, did
okay.
Cecile went? Oh, you were on hold,
I
right?
held, yeah.
So you actually see one thing that starts to happen. Both the hound dogs. I was just gonna say, yeah, hang dogs. Turn their head immediately towards where the fight is happening, and it looks like they're gonna start moving in that direction. Would you like to maintain your hold, or would you like to use your action now? I recommend using your action now because I see what you have next round, and it's another king. Because apparently initiative likes you.
Yeah, apparently. Oh, she definitely
King of
wants to take
initiative.
she definitely wants to take a second to go like, incoming. The hen dogs are coming,
All right.
and just to warn the
Now
other two.
here's a thing we can do. Because it doesn't feel like you would just take a pot shot at them.
No, she
Um,
has a blazer pistol, not really like a good sniping
yeah.
thing, and she doesn't have enough shit to MacGyver a thing right now.
Well, so there's a
Unless she
lot
goes
of
find the cyborg pieces.
okay, run with that. Would you like to create some kind of distraction that will cause one of the hangdogs to not get there this turn?
Yes, actually, if she can either like take one of the cyborg pieces and like overheat it or something, so it makes like an explosion.
Yeah.
So she like throw it, and as soon as it hits something, it's like pressure sensitive, and just
Ooh,
like elsewhere
All
to
right.
like
I like that.
send it somewhere else.
Give me either a science or a repair or whatever your tickering kind of roll is.
This would be repair. Let's see what my thing is really quick.
I really love the idea of like, yeah, like there's these like scattered cyborg bits after some horrifying fight, and Cecilia's just like, I can make that explode.
All right.
Yeah.
Explode,
So you rolled
explode
a-
is easy. Work is
I think
hard.
that's stable. Yeah, yeah, it
Cyborgs
wants
are
to
basically-
break.
Cyborgs are basically just not exploding all the time, and that's the miracle. Um, you find what looks to be a large part of a arm cannon that shot mini missiles, which are clearly expended and gone. But the charges that are used to trigger the initial burst of them are still there. With your 4, you succeed in cracking open the casing, hooking that up to a bunch of basically rocks in a jar, and you chuck it to exactly the right point. And I'm gonna make this thing make a smarts check. Guess what? It's not good at.
Roll to
Yeah.
not be a dumb dog.
Let's see if this D4 will beat. Actually, go ahead.
Anything.
You got a 4, so it rolled a 3. It's one of them goes tearing off in the direction you threw.
Hell yeah.
All right. And it is. I will give it the vulnerable tag or distracted tag,
Okay.
meaning it will have penalties to do everything, including try to find people.
Okay.
But it might be coming for you when it tries.
Ah.
It is now
That's
your turn
fine.
again. Would you like to go back on hold, or would you like to do something more proactive?
If she's able to move a little bit to get a better vantage point on the hangdog that's on its way.
All right.
So she can make a cleaner shot. Again, she's a pistol, so
Yeah.
I don't want her to try to take a really long. I've tried that in Fallout. Doesn't work great. So
You just watch the bat percentages go down.
yeah, and you're just like, oh no,
All right.
oh,
You've
I'm
got
gonna break my gun.
you've got combat stuff. Do you? I know there's all kinds of edges that you don't have that would be +2s and -2 here. But give me a stealth roll if you're not gonna if you're not gonna shoot this round. I'll give you a +1 next round if you succeed on your stealth roll.
Okay.
If you fail on your stealth roll, you will be spotted.
I say, isn't aiming also an action?
Aiming is an action. That is right. That will give you a +2. But she also you wanted to move, and you got combat acrobat.
Oh, fair.
Just give me a. You've got combat acrobat, so I'll let you get away with it. So give me a just stealth roll to see if you get seen.
Okay.
You got a 4. And it's gonna roll its smarts again, and got a 1. Okay. You have not been seen as you move into a second position, and you take the aim, which will give you +2 to attack and damage next turn. I forget.
Ooh,
We'll say that because it
believe-
sounds good.
I will
Yeah.
absolutely take that. Okay. Yeah, she just kind of like stays as low to the ground as she possibly can, like almost like flattening as much as she can, like kind of using like all fours to like get somewhere, but stay as low as possible. And Scrabbles. Are we? You said it's the stadium, right?
It's in the ruins of a stadium, so there's plenty of places to hide behind. A lot of rubble.
Yeah.
And clearly there were like people had built stalls for vending outside the stadium. There's like kind of shanty houses built around the side of it too that have been knocked down.
She's absolutely on top of a stall. Like, just...
That one has giant foam fingers. Apparently, whatever was printing the foam fingers still works even after hundreds of years.
And she's just set up like...
And
Does it
they're
have
all
like a
gray.
big...
They are all
Oh,
Sasir
no.
colored gray because the logo is a gray tiger cat.
Oh, she's blended in. It's active camouflage. Good. If it has like the sign where it says like it has the big finger, like the foam finger look, like on the sign, she's just like kind of tucked in between
Like,
them, like
right above, like here's the knuckles, and she's like right here
Yep.
aiming.
like she's using her own hands and then the big foam finger also as like a steadier to like aim out of.
The big foam like tripod for the or bipod for the gun. That's
You're-
great.
Then it is an NPC's turn, and that NPC is actually Kari. She goes, "Oh, I've managed to make contact. Some of them got away, but they don't know how to come in and try to help. There's only like 3 people capable of fighting, and they're a little bit of ways, but they'll try to get here as soon as they can."
Understood.
So seems like Kari was trying to manage to get you what backup was available, and did manage to make contact. All right, up next is Adelaide.
Great. Okay.
You see this big thing come through the side of the stadium, and it's just like you're at the 50-yard line where Rainier has just downed this thing right in front of you, and it's just a straight line shot about 50 and then another 30 yards to the side of the rubble where the hangdog comes tearing around and snarls at you with its massive jaw.
Okay. As it's snarling, I think there's like a spin of the sword as I don't know if I guess a psi sword could still have blood on it. Why
Yeah.
not? It's made of psychic energy.
It has a physical
we
form while you will it to.
Right. So that spin still has that sort of half drawn like trail behind it as she like flick a horrible ichor off of the blade and steps like around and over the remains of that first demon and shouts back like runs past but doesn't look at her companion. Is like, we've got more company. And what I'm gonna do is a couple of things. This time around, however, rather than using
These are size
might,
6, so you have a +2 to hit them.
fantastic. I am going to fire off boost. I'm going to attempt to boost my my fighting die by 1.
Okay.
So let's start there, because again, that's an innate ability, so I get to do one of those for free every turn. That's
Alrighty.
5, so it pops off.
Success.
That is 2 of my ISP spent. Huzzah! Still have 8 to go. And is this thing within like movement distance? Like how far away is this to me?
I'm gonna say you have to run to this thing. So you
Okay.
will get an roll. Do you have a special die for your pace, or is it a d6?
I
Like,
do.
okay,
Yes.
roll that die.
Okay, here we go. Rolling my pace.
12. You got a 12 on a d8 +4, or it's 8 plus
Yes.
1d10. You got a 4. All right, that is enough to get you just there, but you will take a -2 for running.
Okay. Fantastic. I was gonna say, doesn't count like as an action towards your multi-action stuff, right? As I recall, I don't remember.
Let's not worry about it. Keep going. You're just taking
Let's
a
not
-2
worry
for
about
running.
it. Oh, okay, fantastic. Because the other thing I wanted to do multi-action, I wanted to just go in and I want to attack it. Then I want to attack it again.
All right. So are you using your
'cause that'll let
frenzy?
me. No, I'm actually taking 2 attack actions, so I will be multi-actioning on this thing.
Okay. That So you would have had to announce that before, and your wild die wouldn't have made it then because it would have been at a -2 on your psionics roll. But it's cool. Keep
Talk
going.
about that. Good point. We'll call it one regular attack then. All right, so then I'll do my usual nonsense and do a swing at this thing at a -2. So yeah, let me. Sorry, touchpad moving very slowly. There we go. Let's go ahead and roll, and then there's my frenzy roll as well. Or should have did it go? Did not go. God dang it! Rasm frasm. There we
All
go.
right. So the 5 none of those will hit. You can spend a Benny to reroll all 3, I believe.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and re-roll those 2. No. All right. As that leaves you with 1 Benny remaining, we're gonna call that a failed attack there, and I'm okay
Did
with
you
that.
only reroll 2 because you get 1 more die? Because when you reroll the whole
Oh.
thing. So
Right, you reroll the whole thing. So no, and that one also
No.
comes with like that D10 came up
Yeah.
with 1 as well. So
yeah, it's
yeah,
not good.
it's just Adelaide's running in like
Yeah.
you've seen her fight before and be angry before, but she's kind of like it's a little scary in this one. There's a desperation to it of like she's trying to get this over with faster, and it's making her a little sloppy. And I think that doesn't pan out for her in this particular ball of fury.
You managed to like get a couple of small, but nothing really connects. And it catches your blade with its one forward-facing horn, and you can feel its hot, coppery breath on you. Up next is Rainier. Rainier, you would also have to run to get to this thing.
Okay. Oh no, that one. Okay. Yeah, I will. They will much more, much less effortless sprint in the direction of this thing, to assist Adelaide, and just like it kind of like follows through with one hand forward and just basically tries to punch through the thing's chest.
So you're only doing one of the attack. You're not doing any other abilities.
Yeah,
Which
no,
is
that's
great.
fine. Just one.
You are taking a -2 for running.
That's fine. Okay.
But you get a +2 from its size. So roll normally.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of comes out in a wash.
That's not gonna do it. I will re-roll that.
All right. Spend one of these.
That will probably
hey.
hit. A 13.
All right, so the 13 will beat its parry is 6, so that's a hit with a raise.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it is. Get some bonus damage.
Oh, and do you I forgot, you get a free calling it an asshole.
That's right.
Don't forget to call things an asshole.
That's right. I wasn't gonna do. I was thinking about it last round, but I was like, no, I'm sneaking up. We're not gonna yell something while we're sneaking up. But yes, and it's not even loud. Just as they're sprinting up, they get almost within punching distance, and just, oh, you are ugly, and then just follows through. So I only taunt also.
Yeah. And its resistance to taunt is smarts, which it's not. Where did my d4 go? So you got a 5 on your taunt.
Yeah.
And it got a 1. So,
Cool.
you can either make it vulnerable, giving you +2, or distracted, giving it a -2.
I will give it it's a -2 to everything, so everybody does. Yeah, I'll make it distracted.
Or it's a -2 to any action it takes. Making it vulnerable means everyone else gets +2s against
Oh, that's right. Okay. I'm gonna give everybody +2 then.
Alright, so it has become vulnerable.
Okay.
As you whisper that into what's either a nostril or an ear hole.
God.
Hmm.
I hate it. I fucking hate it.
It kind of winces sadly as though it remembers times that it has been, like, beaten down by larger demons. And go ahead and punch it.
Go ahead and okay, yeah,
go ahead and roll that damage as you connect.
Okay. 18.
All right.
Plus
18
your bonus damage because you hit with a raise when you attack this thing.
meaning
Yeah.
22.
Okay, oh,
All right.
alright. I'm starting to learn how the things are going. Okay, so because it's a raise and I get... Alright.
Then you get that bonus damage.
That's when you get to apply your bonus
Yeah, so
damage.
18
So
plus
yours
4.
is 22, your AP is 12, which brings its 33 down by 12 to 21, and you rolled a 22 for damage. You connect with this thing. It is shaken. You wail into it and kind of like knock it to the side. It's a little kind of stunned. And that is the first step into taking it down.
Okay.
I love that you punched it and it became shaken, but you also whispered to it, so it
It is also shook. If you whisper to it in the right way, it can also become just shaken from that shit.
You
That
will
is
work on
Rainier's turn.
that.
NPC 2 takes his action as the other hangdog gets pounced.
Good
Uh,
kitty.
And from literally the shadows, like literally out of shadows that would have been too small for it, the dragon cat comes just tearing at this thing's like, it doesn't really have a neck so much as just a midsection behind its head. And we'll do that. And that I forgot to see if that thing triggers. That thing triggers. All right. Uh lays into it with one claw and then a second claw and kind of bites it. And normally people who don't know magic can only kind of see magic a little bit. But as the dragon cat bites into this thing, just magic kind of pours out along with the blood. Rainier or Cecile, this is one of the first times you have seen a physical representation of like pure magic, as the dragon cat absorbs some of the PPE from this hangdog. And just puts it down into the ground. Its legs kind of go up in the back. It has taken a hit, but not. It is not wounded yet. But it is also now vulnerable.
He's a magic vampire.
A little bit.
Magic vampire dragon cat. I love it. Want one.
All right. Or am I getting
He's
that
got all
wrong?
the
Is it-
adjectives.
I forget if it actually has that ability, but it has that ability right now. All right, moving on with my brain because it doesn't matter. Up next is enemy 2. These things were enemy 2. So the one directly in front of has two things fighting it, and one just missed it a bunch, but one just called it said it was ugly and then stabbed it. So this thing is going to try to literally bite your head off.
Oh.
Okay.
You moved in on it, so it's not going to get its bonus from a gore attack, but its fighting is a D8.
Oh.
All right, what is your parry?
8.
Your parry is 8. Jesus. Okay. It does not get past your parry. Trying to look if there's anything it
Just
could do, and
catch the
answers.
catch the claw on the other weapon.
yeah.
Is it just like that, you know, that like puff of like, it's almost like ice smoke, like when something hits snow you get that like puff of little the sparkles, and it just like hits that and just passes over their face because fancy.
The other one is going to attempt to bite. It does manage to hit. To hit Tannhauser? Where's its damage? 2d8. Okay, plus strength, which is a d7, d12 plus 7. Jesus, these things are strong.
No, kitty.
That's a 7 plus.
Leave vampire dragon cat alone.
That the thing does manage to get its claws underneath Warhol's like legs and kind of gash Warhol in the stomach. And Warhol is now shaken. All right. Other enemies move. And with that, it's getting a little late, so we're gonna go ahead and take our break now.
Yay.
So we hope to see you soon. Remember to move around, get a glass of water, do what you need to. And so we'll try to keep it short, and we'll see you here soon.
Yeah, take care of yourselves. We'll be back.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. The group had found a group of demons called demonics had. Excuse me. It's like pentatonics, but demons, so the same. No. The A group of demons had overtaken a small town that had built in the remnants of Nitro High School, in West Virginia, and Adelaide went charging in with Rainier just coming up behind a demon and just finishing it right off. But now they're being attacked by two dog-looking, 18-foot tall dog-looking demons. Oh, they're about 11 feet in length, but 20 feet tall. And
Good God.
yeah, I should read
Those
these
dogs are way bigger than I
sizes.
thought they were.
Yeah, they are much bigger. I need to
Holy
read these
shit.
size categories.
Oh my God.
Truly, it says truly massive at the end of that paragraph about its size. So yeah, much bigger, but you're
No, I
managing
agree now.
to hold your own.
Fighting a building.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And did that thing do that thing? That thing did that thing. Yep. All right. When suddenly the next round of initiative is dealt.
Shit.
Ooh. By card suit. All right. So starting first is NPC 1, which is Kari. Kari looks to be doing something back in the van, from a distance. Or back in the bus, the Velocipede, the steampunk tour bus that she has fitted out with velocipedes for tires. And is attempting to build something. And we'll be able to bring it to bear next
Now's
round.
not really the time to develop a hobby.
It is when you're a techno wizard. Cecile, once
Yeah,
again,
that's fair,
you
actually.
you got an ace this time as opposed to the kings you've been getting.
Yee.
Where's my
Oh,
joke?
Raccoon friend go very fast.
I'm technically supposed to show you two cards, but the other one is another ace. So I check to make sure it's not a joker, because you'd take the joker over the ace. But
Well,
what would you like to do?
well, I was thinking aim
Yes.
last round. If our new friend is well within range now, where my little VAT system isn't going to be sad about it, I would love to try to shoot it to help give some backup.
It is within range, so you don't have penalties. Do you want to shoot the one that is fighting Tannhauser or Warhol?
Yes, I would love to help Warhol out.
All right, you get a +2 on this, and it is also vulnerable, so you get another +2, and it is big, so you get 3 +2s. Basically, don't critical fail, and you have a +6 to this.
I think I have another, because I have a note on my pistol that just says +1 to shooting.
So you have a +7 to this shooting roll.
Oh God, don't.
The DC is 4,
Okay.
I was about to say, it's like,
but you gotta roll it.
Do you want to like do any cool
Yeah, 'cause you can
shooting stuff like a
multi-action.
called shot or something? Or
Oh yeah, you could do a called shot, which would give you extra damage, or hit a part of it that would cause a side effect.
Yeah.
And that's a penalty.
Yeah.
You take a penalty for that.
Mm,
but you could also like you said, multi if you wanted to shoot it more than once, or
yeah. I would like to give it a penalty if I can.
Where do, like this thing has massive maw. It's got
Mhm.
kind of shark eyes, like kind of hammerhead eyes out a bit to the side.
Mhm.
And it has parts where it has been fitted with a harness for techno wizardry. grafted into it.
If I tried to shoot... Okay, so if I tried to shoot the harness in a way where it stays on but becomes loose, would it be able to potentially tangle it up?
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like a very. I will let you do normal damage and apply distracted to it as well.
That would be great.
All right, so go ahead and roll with your +7.
Okay. And that's just
Oh, I'm sorry. That'll be it with a -3, so it's only a +4.
Okay.
Only a
and that's
+4.
and that's
Your
the
target number, by the
shooting
way, is a
skill
4.
I'm doing? Or
Yeah,
is
or
it
you
the...
could click it on the weapon. I think I set it up so you can just click the weapon.
Yeah, it says attack plus damage on it
Hello.
for that, so...
Go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
All right, you got a 7 and a 3, and it's a 7 + 4 is 11. That's a hit with several raises, or just the one, to be honest. So go ahead and roll damage as you clip it right in the point where its joints and wiring meet its brainstem,
There's
and
that,
such what.
there's that,
Yeah.
like, the slow breathe in that you can hear through the gas mask, and then, like, it being exhaled ever so slightly, and you can almost see a slight bit of, like, if you can really look at it, you could see, like, a little bit of, like, the mask, like, moving, like, through where there's the little raccoon teeth she drew. There's actually some little tiny seams there.
Now there is no recoil. Oh, Jesus Christ. There is no recoil as this is a laser pistol, but the
Oh.
shot is smooth and hits perfectly right where you wanted it to go. As you rolled a 14 plus 10 for damage, a 24. And this was a cold shot, so it will bypass some of that armor. Yeah, that's going to bypass armor because you're just right into the back of it.
And aiming only helps with the actual, like, hitting, right?
I believe
Yes.
so, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Aim is just a +2 to hit on your next attack.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
nothing here that says, like, some monsters will have cannot be, like, critically hit or, like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that, so that'll definitely hit.
Sweet.
So it's enough for one wound, but not a wound and a because it's already shaken because it's in a fight with Warhol. But it is now hit with a wound as that thing clips into the back of it. There's a searing, burning laser sound. It is not immune to lasers. It is immune to heat and fire, but not lasers. Yeah, not lasers.
Lasers are energy.
Yes.
She said in heavy air quotes.
Another day I might be like, well, they're heat, but no, that was an awesome shot, and I'm gonna make it work.
Yay!
The damage goes right through it, and yet you hear it howl in pain. It is not down yet. Something this big needs another hit before it goes down, but it's not far off.
And it's distracted from the cold shot?
It is distracted and vulnerable because of Warhol's vulnerable. Now it's also distracted, so it will have a bad time.
It's having a shitty day.
It is currently Warhol's turn now. And Warhol is going to use that psychic energy it just took, and it is going to boost its trait. Well, unfortunately, the psychic power doesn't activate, but let's give that D10 fighting a go. And it gets a D6 because he's a wild card. That still isn't enough. As Warhol, Warhol doesn't have a wound. Oh, well, I needed to make a vigor check. Warhol is no longer shaken. Warhol kind of struggles with this thing. That shot has made it hard and easier to hit, but Warhol can't seem to get a good clip on it. It is now kind of in panic frenzy mode, and that is making it a little harder for Warhol to grapple with it. All right, Adelaide, you've got one of these things in front of you with, I believe, a single wound on it. Oh no, it doesn't have a wound on it. It is shaken though.
It was shaken, as I recall.
Yes, it is shaken.
Because my friend was able to pick up the slack where I kind of... Good job done. But that is okay, because this time I don't have to go do any running up to this fool. We are there, we are in it, it is happening. Taking a quick moment to size up my options here. I really do want, because this thing was this thing was also, was it distracted or was it the other one? Fucking
The other
Where
one
the
is
hell the other-
distracted and vulnerable. This one I don't think is distracted. Oh no, it is distracted. Or it's vulnerable because
Vulnerable.
because it feels
Thank
bad
you.
about
There
itself.
we go. Yes, because you because you made the 20-foot tall. Yeah, you told the demon dog. Yeah, you whispered at the demon dog that it was nasty, just an ugly, yucky thing, and it felt bad enough that I get a bonus to beat it up. That's messed up, bro. Bro, that's messed up.
It's bullying, and we
Um,
will not have that on this channel. No, it's bullying demons, and that is allowed.
that is absolutely allowed. It's part of my creed, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah. Like, I feel like we can, in the grand scheme of things, work out okay on that. In that regard. Well, then, hate to be just so ding dong dang boring, but I think I'm gonna go ahead then and as my innate ability thing, I'm gonna go ahead and boost trade again. This time to my strength to see if I can get beefier. But from and this time I'm going for it. I'm gonna try to just fucking lay into this thing like as it's dancing around, snapping at Rainier. I like slide underneath its legs and just start opening up like left, right, and center, trying to purchase with this sward. So, first order of business, let's use a psychic power and see if it works. Did the
It
psychic
does
power
not.
work? The psychic power did not work. That's a bummer for me. Little too freaking distracted, but that's okay because you know what? We're gonna make 2 attacks, so I'm gonna +2 to attack it, but I'm multi-actioning, so those cancel each other out.
So you still get
So
the +2
let's-
for height.
For
And
yes, I get the flat 2 for being big.
and does the frenzy trigger on both?
Yes, because I have improved frenzy with up to 2 attacks per turn, I get to add an extra die.
Nice. So
Yeah,
this will be
it's-
4 total attacks. Plus the wild die.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, the wild die's not a separate attack by itself. I mean, the wild die will be in there, but it can count as one of those 4 attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting 5 out of this. Funny as that would be. No. So let's just roll a bit. So boom.
Alright, so you got 29.
Oh, did I? Neat.
29 and a 7 on your first.
Let me
uh,
roll the
first-
2. Let me roll the 2 frenzies then. 4 and a 3. All right.
Alright.
So 6. So a 6 and a 5. So 6. So 5, 6, 7, 29.
The 7 is not a raise. Anything above a 6 hits.
Okay.
So 29 is a hit with several raises. The and 2 more hits.
Okay. So I need to roll damage 3 times.
Yes.
One of which has its bonus damage. So we'll say it's the first one takes its bonus damage.
All right.
Tell me that worked. Tell me that worked. It did work. All right. Great. Here's the other 2. Boom. And boom.
All right. The first
Okay.
one with the bonus damage totals to 20 with AP 6.
Mhm.
That actually doesn't get through its toughness.
Wow.
Because your ape, it's 33.
Okay.
The 6 brings it down to 27.
Okay.
Did you have anything else that was adding to damage? Any static
Oh, my
bonuses to
smite.
damage?
Shit. I'm running smite. That's another 4 damage on top of that.
Just number wise, or is it extra dice
No, it's extra damage.
for you? Okay.
Normally smite does 2 more damage because I got a raise on that activation. It's 4.
Oh, okay. So add 4 to that, and that's a hit. That's a full hit. That gives it its first wound on the first attack. Your first wound cuts into its underbelly, under its jaw, under its massive hangdog jaw. And it starts bleeding out of what could generously be considered flesh. Your
Yeah.
second attack does more. Your second attack, though not as stylistically perfect, gets more deeply into it. You attempt to you jam it up in the middle. You attempt to come back down and go across, and the across just slides along the base of it, not getting through its toughness. You
Okay,
actually You can't critically roll. No, you got a 6 and then a 1, so that's still not like a critical failure. So,
No.
yeah. But,
But
2
yeah,
good
I
hits.
get a little bit of purchase with it, and then try to rake the sword along, but it just like skips out along the hide of this thing, and it's howling. I'm howling back at it.
Because it was already shaken, this is 2 more wounds, which is enough to kill it.
Oh fuck!
So its howl is in fact a death howl. All right, which brings us to enemy number 1. Who arrives on scene. You hear coming over the loudspeaker, "Little playthings. You've come to attack us. I guess you've killed some of them. We'll just have to kill you, I guess." And it uses confusion. So, yeah. So this thing does a hits you both with the ability, with the two of you, meaning Rainier and Adelaide. Give me a I need to see if this triggers. Yeah, that's gonna do it. It's very good at mind stuff. That is not a raise though. So confusion confounds a target, making them both distracted and vulnerable if they fail a smarts roll. Both
Ugh.
states are removed at the victim's end of the victim's next turn, but this is a large blast template, so it gets the both of you.
Okay.
It's actually a medium blast template because it doesn't have to do that. I didn't look up if there were mega editions. Whatever. So give me a smarts roll, Adelaide and Rainier.
Sure. Rolling my smarts.
That's a success for
Okay.
Adelaide and Rainier.
Got me close there on that 5.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. They can hear me. Just straight smarts. Okay.
All right, that is a 5 as well. So this
Okay.
power does not end up affecting either of you. It
Yay.
seems annoyed by this.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw that guy.
Enemy 2 is gonna have to roll its vigor to be unshaken by Tannhauser.
Sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of being drowned in the guts of the 20-foot tall dog I disemboweled.
All right, it does manage to get out of its shaken and is going to attempt to physically throw Tannhauser at that place that shot came from. This is an attack. Yeah. It's strong as hell, so it's gonna have to hit Tannhauser first. Where's its D10? And
That'll be tricky because Tannhauser's back in another town.
I mean Warhol.
I know
That
you do.
is actually gonna hit Warhol. And Warhol. This thing gets its feet under it and just uses its one leg to throw Warhol into the stand where Rainier is. So it's going to do damage to Warhol, and then Rainier, you're going to have to make a evasion roll, which is agility -2, I believe. Unless you've got something, you might have something for evasion rolls. I don't think you do actually, but you have high agility.
Agility is a D8. What do I need to
Oh,
roll?
I meant Sasir needs to make this roll
Oh, okay. That's
because it's throwing it at the stand.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, there's a Warhol headed your way.
Oh damn. Okay. So what would you like me to roll again?
Agility, please.
Agility. Cool.
And what
Cool.
numbers did you get?
A 7 and an 8.
All right, that succeeds.
The 8 is green.
Because you got a 6 which exploded and got another 2 which got negated, so it's only a 6, but you succeeded in getting off of the thing as the dragon cat gets thrown into the stand and the stand explodes into splinters and foam fingers. Warhol has to take some potential damage. D6 and 2d8.
It's using the big stall sign as like cover.
Warhol is actually not damaged by them. That's a bunch of ones. Okay. Up next is something else. I love how something so fucking huge can be invisible.
Yeah, that
Does-
just
Who here has a danger sense? Okay, good, because then it won't get the drop on you.
Okay.
Oh.
Coming out of someone else's invisibility spell is
Ooh.
the feculence, which is the crab dolphin crayfish.
Oh no.
It's 12 feet tall and 20 feet in length. And it looks like it's gonna come. It moved incredibly weirdly, invisibly. Maybe
Good
2
thing we're
tentacle attacks
shit
each
on a
round.
football field.
Yeah, it's going to attack both of you on the ground in front of it because it has tentacles. Creepy, weirdo tentacles. Alright,
Nope.
its fighting is a
Nope.
D8, which is, not a lot. That is a for Rainier, it's going to be a 9. What is and your
Yeah,
parry is
that
an 8.
hits.
And I'll just roll the other one right now for Adelaide. That is an 8. Does your shield provide bonuses?
I mean, yeah, it adds to my parry, and it also adds to my it gives me cover.
All right. Well, it rolled an 8.
My parry is a 10.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't manage to hit you.
So I've
However,
got my size shield up, so
it didn't even fire its lasers at you. Where's the tentacle attack damage?
Where's the tentacle attack damage?
Strength plus D10.
not here, baby. 'Cause I got a parry at
Make it
10.
Strength is D12. Okay. All right, Rainier. What is your toughness?
It says 16 and then it says 7 in parentheses.
7 of that is armor. However, it rolled a 19
Okay.
with AP 10, meaning it ignores all that. So, you're down to 9, and it beat it by 10, which is 2 raises. You are shaken and take 2 wounds
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
as this tentacle comes kind of.
Oh boy.
This would be a good time to explain soaking, but
Yeah.
then continue your narration.
The tentacle comes stabbing with an energy as the tentacle is kind of tipped with a vibroblade. You move to get your your claw you generally parry with up, but at the last moment the tentacle ducks down underneath, catching you right in the side for a massive bleeding wound. Now, you may roll a Benny to do what is called soaking damage.
Mm-hmm.
You are about to become shaken and take 2 wounds. That's bad. That will
Yeah.
give you a -2 on everything. On your sheet somewhere, does it say... it says it somewhere. I don't remember where on the sheet it is. My god. But, there is a way to soak. It's underneath fatigue on the right side of the sheet.
If I have any pluses, you added them in already, right? From my edges?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I think I just have to hit soak, right? And it'll roll?
You have to spend a Benny to
Yeah,
soak damage.
I'm fine with that. And then we'll roll, and then just click it, and it'll roll.
You have... Alright, there's one of your Bennies.
Okay. 7.
Alright, so you got a hit. That will take away one of the wounds.
Okay.
Do you want to go for higher?
Would you recommend that?
Actually, no, I'm looking at your d6 and I don't think you're going to get... Because you would have to get an 8.
Okay, then we're
To-
fine. We'll just use the 1.
Yeah, you soak 1 wound, so you have a -1 wound
How
penalty
many
to share.
bennies have I used?
4? Or 3.
What else did I
Seven, 3 by
rerolled
my
one
count.
only used 2. I
I
think.
think you rerolled something twice, didn't you?
I'll trust you. It's not a big deal. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So you take a wound as this vibro blade on the tip of this thing's tentacle lashes into you, and you hear it laugh.
Oh no.
This thing enjoys inflicting pain on others.
No.
What?
Fantastic.
Not a tentacle demon. You're relatable.
All
Adelaide
right.
covered in gore stares.
Okay. And you killed the other dog. Okay. So up next is Rainier. It is now your turn.
Okay. The one between Adelaide and I, is that one dead?
Yes. The
Oh.
hangdog is dead. The feculence looms above you.
Cool.
I slightly disemboweled it.
Okay. So what does being shaken do?
All right. So it's at the beginning of your turn. You must make a vigor check to become unshaken. There should be
Okay.
a thing that says unshake. That is free. You have a negative. You only have a 1 wound right now, so
Yeah.
your wound
So-
should be.
Yay!
Your
I can now
unshake
act.
succeeds because I believe your wound penalties don't apply to shaken rolls.
Okay, so I'm no longer shaken then?
90% sure of that. You are no longer shaken, and you may act.
Okay, cool.
Because otherwise, you can only do like one small thing if you are still shaken.
Rainier
Welcome,
wheels on this thing and kind of whips the weapons out. Think like like Wolverine style, like before he goes to attack, kind of does that, and the that puff of ice crystals just shoots off the weapons, and they meet eyes with this thing, and if it doesn't have distinctive eyes, Rainier just makes a best guess at a face.
It has eyes. It's got a face. It is nasty looking. Demon Lord posted a bunch of demonics pictures in the Discord, and let me
Cool.
tell you which one this is.
I have to look at it through my
It
phone because I
is-
can't touch Discord over here.
Yeah, it is. It is like a giant crawfish looking thing. So it's not the one with Baleen. It's the second picture in the series of demonics pictures. It is really nasty.
Yeah, that does have a.
Oh.
It does have one entire gross, maybe two.
Or is it that? No, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I think it's that one. If not, it's the
But
well
well,
looking one. Anyway,
they will
continue.
look into this thing's big ugly face and just be like, no, that won't do. I'm the one that's supposed to be having fun. Let's fix that, and I will taunt it.
Okay. It resists with its smarts.
Well, it's got to
Which
be at
doesn't suck.
12.
That might do it.
God.
So your D6 came up 12,
Woo.
and its D8 came up 6. Would you like this thing to be vulnerable or distracted?
Distracted
is that a
means
hit with the raids? That's not 8. No, that's just a hit.
distracted means it gets a -2. You know what? I'm just gonna give us the advantage and hope that Adelaide and I can make quick work of it.
Wait, hold on a sec. It rolled a 6. Is that it, Fox? Am I doing math bad?
Mhm.
Is that a hit or just a hit with a
Okay.
raise?
You need a difference of 4 or more to get a raise. So if it rolled a 6 and Rainier rolled a 12, yeah, that is a hit with because that is a difference of 6.
Cool. So
Right? Or no,
yeah.
it'd be a difference of 8 for a hit with a raise. You're right. Jesus,
It's
you're absolutely right. It's just a hit.
10:30.
It's just a
so,
hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
my
math brain-
brain also skipped a beat there.
I know this is a lot of fighting that we've been doing, so my math brain has been using up its points.
No, totally.
So you just get a hit. You're gonna make it easier to hit for you.
Yes.
Okay,
for
so you
all
make
of
it
us.
vulnerable. You will get a +2. This will be offset by your -1 slightly, as your wound penalty is applied to such things. And go ahead and make an attack at it.
Or wait. Oh,
Looking
never
to
mind.
see
Moving on.
Yeah,
if I were to do something other
Yeah, you
than
bet, Matt. My bad.
like if I were to do something and attack, it would have to be a multi-attack, right?
It would be a multi-action unless it's one of your innates.
Innates. So which ones are the innates?
Smite is one of the innates, and anything that has the same symbols as Smite, because I put symbols after him. I think it's the little carrot. I don't remember.
Oh,
I believe your smite is already active.
I can.
So.
Okay,
Yeah, you
so
can't
I
smite
can
again.
boost. I can boost self power. Allows character to increase, decrease a target's trait, but
You
I can
can
only do it
only
on
do that on
myself.
yourself,
So I
though.
can boost something of my own. So how does that work?
That's what Fox has been doing, actually. She's been boosting her fighting and her strength. So it ups the die type. So when you up when you succeed, it goes up 1. If you succeed with a raise, it goes up 2.
Okay.
So you spend the ISP for that.
Yes.
And do you want to make it's innate, so it doesn't take a -2. And then click the power.
It's a power.
You got a 4 with the -1s factored in there, so
Yep.
you succeeded on boost. What trait were you boosting? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna boost fighting.
Okay. You boost your fighting up another die type.
Yeah, so it goes from, so I just automatically roll it as a D12.
Is your
I
fighting
just,
generally a D10?
it's a D10, yeah.
Then it goes up to what, 12?
Okay, so
Just roll a D12 and a D6 and we'll call that your fighting.
oh, I'm just gonna up it and then I'll for now and I'll lower it when I'm done.
Gotcha. All right.
What happened?
I don't
You
think
just gotta
that's
remember to
gonna,
lower it afterwards.
I don't think it's gonna
Yeah.
do it.
It's a 7. I mean, with all the things, it's 7 plus 2 because it's vulnerable. The plus 2 isn't factored in.
Okay.
So that is a 9. Its parry is 6, so that is a hit.
Okay, cool.
So go ahead and apply that damage in.
Why did I just roll fighting and not, I didn't roll with my Psy sword?
That's fine.
Okay, so can I just, then I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah, just click the roll damage on your side sword.
And then roll
Yeah,
damage.
then you just hit the roll damage button. Yeah,
there we go,
it's
yeah.
fine.
Because
Alright,
there was no roll damage before, so.
Yeah. This thing's hide is incredibly tough. You come in for 10 damage, which is not enough to pierce its hide with your sword, even though you've got AP 10.
I'm going to I'm gonna re-roll it and try
Okay.
again.
Oops,
So AP 12 and then a 13.
that would be 25 total, which is still not enough.
Oh.
Wait, hold on, let me do the math again. What is its armor? Its armor is 14. All right, 31 minus 12 is 19. So 19 is the number you need to hit. And you got a 13.
Okay.
A little shy.
Yeah, just a little shy. Not enough to pierce through its. It continues, even though you saw its eyes change and sadden a little bit. It's still smiling at you, and you now get the impression that it intends to, be the absolute worst. All right.
Cool.
It plans on making you as miserable as possible with everything it can do because it hates you now.
Gotta love the
I don't think we were anticipating it. I don't think we were anticipating, like, oh, brownies and maybe some cocoa. It's a demon with a knife tentacle.
Yeah, but before it would have just attacked who's ever closest, but now it has a foe. All right. Up next, a weird noise triggers.
I keep getting shafted.
as hold on, I need to see if she knows where
Is that
this
the
thing
new
is.
turn order or is that the last turn order?
This is the last turn order. You're right.
Okay.
We need to deal new cards.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way I got that ace again.
You got a
3.
7 of.
Isn't there, Dara?
Derry, you got a 3 or a 7. Which one would you like? 7?
Yeah, I'll take the 7.
Okay.
Here comes a 7.
All right. Oh, the enemy's got a red joker.
Oh, cool. Cool and
Enemy
good.
2, which is the feculence demon and one of the hangdogs.
Oh no.
But enemy 1, it's actually going to let enemy 1 do its thing first. Enemy 1 is the Basil. And it is an asshole.
Well then.
That's why I called it that earlier. Well, I called one of them that. I called that thing I called that
Sorry, just
died.
need to
But
look up
regardless.
something. It enters the main battle area with its skittering mojo-like base. And it goes, oh, you've killed the little ones. But that's only just the beginning. You need to read a thing as it does some magic.
Oh no.
It's entirely possible I picked a fight that was unwise. Thank you for following me to your deaths.
It's almost like your heroic trait got you in trouble.
Yeah.
What's its casting on this? Its casting ability is a
Took a
D10.
vow. I'm sorry.
And it gets a D6 because it is special.
This is why you don't make promises to people or ideals or things or get involved or leave the home.
Behind it show up two more.
All bad ideas.
Behind it, it enters the main field area, and behind it come two more of the manslayers. They don't appear to be doing anything right now, but they come out and snarl bigly.
Two more, huh?
Then we're gonna go to. Yeah, it's just gonna attack her now, or it's just gonna attack him now as the Rainier gets attacked by the feculence demon again, but now with both tentacles.
Oh no.
Maybe I should have made it shitty.
Well, this is what happens when you make fun of people all the time. They get mad about it. D8.
Can't
That's
confirm.
a 1 and a 7, and your parry is
8.
Yeah, and you're not distracted or anything anymore. So it does not hit you as the two more tentacles come flying in from different angles. You've kind of gotten maybe the pace of this thing's strikes as it misses you twice.
There you
Right.
go.
Oh, well,
Adelaide.
good news,
Adelaide.
Adelaide. It's very focused on me.
Yeah.
So you got it then? Okay, cool.
Oh no.
Adelaide, it's your turn.
Okay.
Just remember, if you leave, so can I.
Yeah, true.
Has this thing been hit? I
So-
don't think. No, the feculence hasn't been hit yet, right?
The feculent, no, we haven't
That's what I thought.
hit that thing just yet.
Yeah.
All right. So, can I get a quick refresher on like the state of things, because we just had
Gotcha.
two more friends show up.
Yeah, you're in kind of one side by the, let's say, home team's goalpost, just past that.
Okay. Sure.
Around the corner from that, Warhol is in a grapple with, or was in a grapple with a hangdog, but got thrown at Sasir, who jumped out as the cart exploded. And then skittering its way into the middle of the field, and then behind it was the Basil, who looks basically like Mojo but with eyes here. It's really gross looking. It's a gross thing. And behind it were two more manslayers, which were the big shovel-handed ones.
Okay. So there are 4 things on the field, and the thing that just threw Warhol.
Yeah. It's the one that threw Warhol is in a bad state. But
Okay. Oh, wow. And we've still got people stuck inside that auditorium.
We have backup on the way, apparently, from the town.
both NPCs rolled 2 on this one.
Yeah, and whatever our techno-wizard friend is getting up to,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a second before that pops off.
Yeah.
Fam, we're in a play.
I hope it's a trebuchet.
We've got 3 of us going in a row, so things could alter very quickly in this.
That is true.
They could. Now I'm thinking about using one of my actions to drop some healing into Rainier, because that is a thing I can do. And then I'm contemplating whether or not we need to try and disengage from this whole situation, because taking on one of those things, no problem. 2, that we can handle. 5, sounds like a recipe for disaster right now. These things are way tougher than I was anticipating. So
I'm sorry I didn't properly convey the scale of how big they are.
No,
Just
you're
looking at the
right.
pictures in the Rift's official art, they look huge. In the Savage Worlds Savage Foes book, it doesn't give them scale against things. So sorry.
Just like, oh, it's as tall as a paragraph. That's no problem. Like, I can handle something. It's a paragraph, biggie. Oh, I'm this big next to it. Oh dear. I think as like I'm watching this, there's a moment where I'm like wiping some of that awful black ichor like out of my eyes after this thing because like did the fucking disembowel on it and just showered gore and it's just like ugh. And looking around and then realizing that there's like two more of these things coming there and looking over near and going, oh shit. So what I'm gonna do then is I think I'm just gonna spend my action to heal Rainier.
Okay.
And then for a retreat. So, let me take a look and find. Sorry, and trackpad moving kind of slow. There we go. All right. All right. I have touch range, no problem. Yeah, for my movement, it's just my Psy sword like vanishes out of my right hand as I'm hauling ass over to Rainier. Slide to a stop and sorry about your clothes. My gloves are really gross right now. And just like grab your shoulder from behind and pull you in. We need to fall back as I cast healing.
Don't worry, Rainier's as dirty as you are.
That's a hit with a raise.
Oh.
Super is. All right.
That heals your shaken and your wound?
Let's see.
I was not shaken
a success
anymore.
removes 1 wound, a raise removes 2.
So you are no longer wounded.
Hey, yay.
Wow.
As the flesh kind of doesn't exactly seal with this psychic kind of healing, but like a bit of psychic bandage gets put over it, the bleeding has stopped, and the internal healing of your body has been kicked up a notch by the psychic power.
Yeah, there's like a white glow that rather than like just traveling down the cool channels on the armor, it's like the armor itself, the blue of it almost shifts into a lighter shade as it just glows white on your shoulder as this psychic energy travels downward towards the wound and creates that bandage. We gotta fall back. That's my go.
All right, Sasir.
Okay, so where is she in comparison to
I can't do that very
Warhol?
many times, by the way.
Oh boy. Where is she compared to Warhol and, or is it safe to assume that the hangdog is the one that threw?
Yes.
Warhol.
You're like right next to Warhol and very close to. You could move to it if you wanted to get to it.
And you said it was wounded.
It is
the really wounded one, right?
Yeah, it's got 1 wound, and it's got 1 wound left to kill it, and it is distracted and vulnerable.
So, could she hear Adelaide over comms? Okay. So,
I believe, yes.
Sasir's gonna kind of like biting into the side of her mouth, like under her mask. She kind of just goes like, "Well, it's time to leave." But then raises her pistol to the hangdog and goes, "You are not welcome to come with us," and tries to shoot it to take it down.
All right. Go ahead and make that shot.
Okay. Let's hope. This gets plus.
Yep, it's all factored in there with the gun.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
All right. That is an 8 to hit it. The DC is 4, so that's a hit with a raise. Actually, it's a little higher because it's vulnerable. So roll that damage and add in the other side of it.
Roll.
You're gonna have to hit it very carefully. Oh, Jesus Christ! So your dice exploded. Your laser pistol is about this big. With the buttstock out, it's about this big. You rolled a 17 for damage and a 13 for bonus damage. Its toughness is 33. and
You hear
you
that, Rio? You and your
just
big
hit it.
super duper cannon. The raccoon just needs a pistol.
By 1 point, you get the wound in.
Oh!
You hit it perfectly right in the eye, or it goes to snarl at you, and you just catch it in the soft palate underneath its jaw, and it comes out the spot you broke open and made vulnerable the other side.
Sit.
It crumples. I'd give you a Benny, but you already have 4 and we're almost done. All right. That was a good line.
It was.
Thank you.
Honestly,
Alright.
they both were.
Rainier.
Ow!
Hey,
You guys could hear that, but I was muted for
Big
chat.
protest.
So
the cat meow. That's what happened.
I was trying to think if there's any way I could stop this thing from following us so good.
Make a aimed shot on its leg that will slow it down. I will inflict penalties to its pace. If you make a called shot on its leg, which is only a -2 because its leg is a tree trunk.
And it's still +2 because yeah, you know what? I'm gonna try to basically hamstring the thing. Rainier looks back at Adelaide, nods, and then just takes one last swipe at one of the legs.
All right, go
Uh,
for it. That's an 11 to hit, which will do it.
okay.
That is a hit with a raise.
Okay.
Is not good at parrying. Oh,
Oh,
Jesus. Okay.
that's gonna do it at 29.
All right. Now I have to do some math again because your total is it's 14, so it's effectively that's a hit. That's a hit with a wound. Is it 2 wounds though? Because your AP is 12. I hate the way they do armor in the system. 31 minus 12 is 19. You got a 30 over its 19.
Okay.
30 minus 19 is 11, so that's a hit with 1 wound. No, it's not 12. Okay.
Okay.
You hamstring this thing, and you almost take off its leg. You cut through a better part of it. No, you do take off its leg. There is a gush of blood. This thing isn't dead, but oh my god, is it in bad shape. There's a, like I said, a gush of blood as it loses a foot. It's down to like 1, and it's gonna use its arm to come after you. But
yeah.
yeah, you majorly wound this thing.
Rainier comes up from that like lowered stance at its leg, and there's just this wicked smile across their face as they then turn to follow Adelaide.
All right.
Told him I would make fun for me.
Okay, let's see. She's got a D10 on this.
Yeah, if it's still alive, it can suffer.
Did not expect that to explode twice. All right. A catapult was built, but not to hit any one thing. A perfect Stargate-looking thing kind of land, like a quarter of a Stargate lands. Another quarter of a Stargate lands. Another quarter of a Stargate lands. A fourth quarter of a steampunk-looking Stargate lands, perfectly encircling the. She got a 22 on this D4. On this it was a D10. She hit twice and then got a 2, but the difficulty was 4. A perfect circle of material lands around the Basil demon and the two manslayers it showed up with. A charge ruptures through that area. The thing is, nothing happens. And you hear over comms, "What? Those aren't real. That was supposed to banish them."
What?
They're illusions.
Son of. Mm.
And that's where we'll end for the night.
Son of a bitch.
Great.
Let me write down that the
Mother-
feculence demon.
Fuck.
That's why the basil is the most dangerous.
Wow.
I wonder there were so goddamn many of them.
Wow.
Wait, but
indeed.
that means that they did all that cool stuff on something that's not real. Oh man.
No, the other things you fought, everything else you fought was real. It's just those three in the
Oh.
middle of the stadium were not.
We can turn back and fight this feculent.
The feculence is now suddenly realizing it's alone.
It's like
Oh,
stops,
feculent.
turns back, does the like one hand over the back of the head, and then just pulls my hand forward, and just like this helmet goes shunk over the front of it. It's like,
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you everybody for joining us for tonight's Gunmetal Soul. In this demon fight, this is a more combat heavy game than the last one, to be honest. You will get to a place where it is more plot driven. But
Sorry, I
I
didn't
thought-
roll any 37s or something. Knock shit
You
out
rolled
in
plenty of
one
insane
turn.
numbers. Don't worry about it. And y'all did some cool shit too. So, thank you for joining us. Let's go around and tell people who we are and where they can find us. Let's start with Dara.
Oh, that's me. Hi, everybody. I'm Dara. I've been sincere this evening. You can find me at Wildcat Dara on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and right here on Twitch. I stream on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Wednesday is starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, a little different than my usual. And Thursday I start at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can find me here on Mondays for Gunmetal Soul, and you can find me over at Doubles Luck Gaming here on Twitch on Fridays for our Final Fantasy XIV game, where I am playing Zolzaya, the All-Rod Dancer, in our light party. That game just started as well. We're going to be on episode 2 this week, Friday at 8 p.m., so be sure to check it out. That's me.
All right. Thank you so much. And Fox.
Hey folks, I remain Fox Barrett at Fox_Barrett on Twitter and Fox_Bar on Twitch. Right now, as I am still, as you can clearly see, not in my house. The only place you can find me is right here for Gunmetal Soul.
All right. Thank
I
you
guess
so
on
much.
Twitter. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. While it still exists, hopefully.
Eh.
Well,
If it
I'm not sure if
Hopefully
that
not.
hopefully
dies,
is.
he dies.
If it dies, no tears will be shed. All right.
I would like something
and
better to show up before it dies. But yeah.
Mastodon. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens to Mastodon.
Riley.
Hi everybody. My name is Riley. I have been Rainier, who's just had a roller coaster of emotions about this fight. You can find me here. This is my channel on Tuesdays at 8 and Thursdays at 9. And then you can also find me on DLG on Friday night at 8 p.m. where I am playing our Rogadin Gunbreaker in our Final Fantasy game, which that game is going to be amazing.
That's just a bunch of nouns to me, but that's how other people feel about
I
Rift.
swear, I swear it all makes sense.
I know it does because this world makes sense to me.
Yeah. My gun do a
You
shooty.
can tell the
That sounds
And,
great.
and I'm a big
Yeah.
lady. That's
And you're cool.
I'm a big
And
lady
it looks
with a
really
shooty
cool.
gun.
The costumes for it were great.
Yeah. And that's all. Yeah, that's right. On Fridays we're all in costume. So yeah, it's a good time. Oh, who are you?
Hi, my name is Kevin. I am known as the Game Boss to some, and you can find me on Twitter as Bisonic Kevin, not posting anything and kind of avoiding it, or on any of the various Discords, including Riley's.
Fair.
And once again, a shout out to Armor Lord for posting awesome pictures in the Discord of the crazy shit I'm talking about. That is very helpful, as my spatial processing isn't exactly the best. Spatial processing wasn't what I meant to say, but image processing. However, you can find my wife's amazing knitwear work,
Nice images.
including the Stray-inspired Geek Along socks, at lattesandllamas.com. Check that out, and it's good stuff. We will be posting this on YouTube. It'll be up pretty soon. That's on the Gunmetal Rifts YouTube. We'll post a link to that in the Discord as well. So if you need to catch up on previous episodes or miss a bit, check it out there.
Yeah.
All right. And once again, thank you, Riley. Thank you so much for producing and hosting.
I love having you.
I appreciate that you do it every single week.
Yeah, I actually have fun. I enjoy that. I apologize for the quick blip where everybody disappeared for a second. I forgot I can't touch my Discord, and I was like, "Oh, there's pictures of that. No, don't touch that!" And it was too late. But yeah,
you just get your phone on the Discord.
yes, so I'm like afterwards I remember. But we are actually going to raid because I remembered this week. We're going to
Yay!
raid Fable 42. They are playing Dungeons and Dragons. I think they're under Dungeons and Dragons. They are playing a TTRPG called Crypt Creatures. Is their golden hell? And they are doing a dice giveaway today, so maybe you guys will win something if you go over there.
Ooh.
And they're cool people, so give them love. You can do this.
Hooray!
Let them know where you came from. Give them love. They're good people. So thank you guys so much.
And we'll see you soon.
Alrighty. Bye, everybody.
Why?
Bye.